Alexa, kitchen on.
Okay.
Alexa, kitchen off.
Okay.
Good evening, the one person in said room. Do do do. Good evening, Benji. Haven't you got it yet? I ought to ban you from the room if you've not had and played this game. New rule. New Cranky Gamers rule. If you've not played at least 25 hours of Horizon Zero Dawn, then you are banned. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting, Benji. Keep forgetting, mate. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Did not want to be here, that was fortunate. I remember this area, and you can get killed so easy in this area because there are a shitload of nasty animals in here. Look at the lighting again. Oh, I remember now. I've got to, yeah, I've got to go and do this bandit camp, Anna. If I remember right, this is a ball ache, this is. Oh, no, 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 no. Christ, how far have I got to go? Jesus shit. Let me just check. I think one of the side quests. Go to Brom's camp. Where's that? I mean, that's the closest campfire. Take your pick. This is the main story. Well, I watched all the Apple Keynote. A lot of filler tripe, weren't they? That super duper, that crazy ass bloody, that crazy ass new iMac looked absolutely fucking crazy, didn't it? See, that's a bandit camp as well. I could clear that. I don't like the bandit camps. They're boring as shit. Although they were okay later on when I were more powerful. Tell you what I could do. Let's get on this beaten path, shall we? Wait a minute. Why is that? Evening all. Why is that showing us? Oh, because I've got a flag bloody tagged here, haven't I? Like a twat. Take that off. And we might get it. Evening all. Now I remember where that was and I can't be arsed. Did we like that speaker? Did we like the rip-off of the Amazon thing? I must admit, I'm not going to lie, it looked pretty nifty and pretty nice, that speaker, but let's be fair and let's be honest, they were like trying to really spat out this technology when, to be honest, Google and Echo have been doing it for like months, years in fact, and it's obviously they've taken all the best things that's going to be able to do and integrated it into the Apple system. $350? Come on, please. I think you're taking the piss a bit, to be honest. Really? I mean, there's no doubt it's going to be pretty cool and pretty nifty, and I would expect that it works pretty cool as well. But fuck, $350, please. Although I must admit, if money were no object, I really like the price reductions on the MacBooks, and I'd probably have ordered one straight away if I was extremely rich. And I don't mean one of the top-notch dog's bollocks ones either. I mean just the reduced price ones. I thought that was a good, quite a good deal actually. Yep. I mean, there's another thing as well, Parrot. I mean, let's be fair as well. I mean, it's going to be a high-end, it's obviously an high-end speaker. It's not going to be cheap shit either, is it? It's going to be like, I'm guessing with all the shit that we're talking about, it's going to be the nuts kind of thing. But again, there are so many alternatives. Now, if I'd have been them, I thought, yeah, it was quite nice, quite nifty, and all the bells and whistles you were showing us. But I'd have then said something like, well, it's $180 or $200. And then you're competing with the ones that's already out there, but you're already off. I mean, let's be honest, it's not as if they're not making any fucking money either, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's not as if they fucking sat there paupers with the outside with the guitars and cardboard fucking boxes, is it, really? Let's be fair. So they could... Oh, we've got some big... Oh, these fucking things here, if I think I know what they are. I can tell you now, I ain't tackling these at this level if it's what I think they are. Because there's some alligators later on in the game, and fuck, they were nasty, they were. Yes, I must admit, the MacBook... Yeah, I know you said that to me earlier, that what they've done, they've obviously lowered... It was a bit weird the way that they lowered the price. Oh, fuck, you keep out of the way of these boys. Let me tell you now, these little shits here, these fire bellowbacks, you do not go near them for a while. Because, fuck, they will fuck you up. Yeah, it was kind of what I thought the price reduction was pretty cool, obviously, because like I say, if it was me and I'd got the cash, I'd have probably gone online on Apple and actually ordered one straight away. But I think what was kind of weird, like you said, they like virtually made their lowest end MacBook pointless. But I think for me it was kind of weird, like you said, what they should have like followed it up. They should have like said, here's the MacBook Pro now reduced to $1250, and here's the MacBook now reduced to $999. And it's like, no, they didn't say anything. They like said it was the same price. So like you say, who in the right fucking mind is now going to buy a MacBook when you can get a MacBook Pro? So, I don't know. I mean, $950 is not bad. I mean, for what I would want for the show and the thing I use my MacBook for, which is all show stuff and video editing and all that kind of shit, $950 is a good starting point for me. I don't need all the top-end bells and whistles. I just need one that's more modern than 2009, really. So, basically, it's not bad if I wanted to do that, or more, should I say more, if I had the fucking money, but that's by the by. And they're always the great... I mean, I'll argue all, and what Carl's just said there, you are paying for the name. there's no question you're paying for the name, especially with that speaker system. What's all that shit going off there? There's all manner of shit going off up there, look. That's the cool thing about this game as well. There are some pretty cool, like, shell walkers, they're fuckers and all. They've got some, like, shit hot goss. I need to get back where I'm going, aren't I? Whoa. Careful. I've done that many a time in this game as well. Just, like, wandered. And then turned round and there's been, like, shit right in front of me. What is that? So that's a scrap. It's the watches that you have to do, by the way. Let me give you a tip if you're new to this game. Don't give a shit about anything else very early on. The ones you have to watch for are the watches. Because they're the ones... The watches are the ones that actually, like, set everything off. Like an alarm, basically. That's why they're called the watches. What is that noise? Fuck me, what was that noise? Holy shit, he's right there. That's what the noise was. Fucking that scared me to death. That was so cool. Shit, there's another one here. Fucking hell, they're everywhere. See, when there's a few hanging about, that's the best thing to do, because what that will... Whoa, shit. Fuck, let's get out the way. Tell you what, let me just fuck off out of the way a minute, because I'm not in the best place at the minute. I've not got the right arrows selected either. See, that one's corrupted. What I did, I corrupted it, but there was just too many. But now that one's got that sign of its head, that will attack all the others, which was my plan, but I didn't realise there was one on my ass. But because I took him over, you see... God, I need to sell shit. See, that won't bother you because it's still under your control. I will say, funny you should say that, Mark, not the BBC website, but about half an hour ago, I was having trouble actually accessing a few websites. I think there might be a DDoS attack flying around somewhere, because I think with you saying that, the internet was being a bit dodgy. But it was like specific websites and stuff. Oh, right, probably not them. Right, let's bugger off down here and get this quest on the trot. When do I get all the other shit bows? I need to buy another bow, don't I? And I'll tell you something I've learned on this playthrough. I could actually sell all the shit inside my bag, because you just get oodles of it. And I remember playing the original version and just like saving everything in your bag, as you mostly do when you play games like this. But then I just realised I could have just sold everything, and I might do that and get a decent bow. Where you going, you fuck? They're nasty as well. You don't want to fuck about with them either. Super excited for Morrowind. It's not very cheap. I thought I was getting a review of that actually. I'm also looking like don't look like I'm going to get my date review either. Looking at checking my emails all today for Cranky Gamers, I'm afraid. This is, I think, exactly what I did last time I got here. I saw the sawtooth, shit myself, and went down the mountain. Because what I don't want, I don't need to get near. That'll do though. PC man, get a grip. Get a grip. Get him on a proper format. This PC rubbish. What's all that business? Didn't PCs die about 10 years ago? I might still be able to afford date on Friday. I'm not sure yet. Just got a few things I'm trying to dabble in. I'll tell you kind of a problem I've got as well. It's not a problem. It's a bit annoying actually. You guys may know or may I don't know how you guys go about it, but I don't use cash anymore. I honestly have had cash in my hand for like I think twice this year. However, I sold something about a month ago and I've actually got £60 cash lying about in my wallet up there. Now I could really do with that cash in my bank, but I can't get to my bank and I can't get anybody to put me 60 quid in my bank so I can give them this cash. I've tried my daughter, I've tried my ex-missus, and none of them have got the funds to put it in the bloody bank. So infuriating, I'm sat here with 60 quid that could get my that I have. Look at this view. By the way, this is a fucking ball ache, this bit. This is a ball ache. In fact, I might have a pause a minute. As you can see there, it says clear 3 camps. I've got to go in there and there's 3 separate camps, and it is a fucking arse ache. Not gonna lie. Because I much prefer killing the animals in this and taking them over and shit. These are real people, and it's an arse ache. But it looks beautiful. But I'm gonna pause it a bit and have a yak. Yeah, so I'm lying about with 60 quid in my wallet that's literally been there since I think fucking what we're in? We're in June, aren't we? I think I've had it since about March, beginning of March. No use to me, except I know for a fact that it could pay for my date rally, but I can't get it in my bank. Talking of pay shit, what did all you guys reckon to the Apple Keynote with all this new pay in chat and all that bollocks? All that shit they were showing on their devices. We're getting closer and closer and closer to the taking over of the world, and literally everything being done on a device. Although I must admit I do like the pay idea. But Para, you made a good joke, didn't you? You messaged me and said, okay, so you're going to get held up at gunpoint for you to be paid on the spot on your phone. And I said, yeah, and lose a finger at the same time. Well, it weren't bullshit. It was just, I think Apple shows. I say used to be a big fan. I still am a fan. I still own the iPad. It's a great machine. I mean, they bought yet another fucking brand new iPad out. I mean, how many more can they keep bringing out? It's just a fucking joke. By the way, can somebody explain to me that Apple Pencil? What iPads does it work with? Does it work with the Apple iPad Air, or is it only like the latest top end, like last year's model or whatever? Just I was intrigued when they started talking about it. The AR shit looked good. Did you see that woman nearly fall over doing VR? I nearly pissed myself. I was actually eating a yogurt at the time and I nearly choked. When she was doing that Darth Vader shit, she nearly went flat on her arse. And I'll tell you now, if she'd have gone over, I don't think I'd have been streaming tonight. I really don't. When I was in New England last month, they just bought in Chip and Pin. I've got to do my gadget tomorrow. Somebody messaged me on Twitter tomorrow and keep forcing me to do my gadget unboxing tomorrow. You'll love the piece of gadgety shit. It's crazy. It's really up with all this stupid tech. Yeah, the Apple Pencil's $99. It was $99 when they bought it out last year. It made me laugh, actually, because they showed this fucking fantastic brand new iPad, and then they said, and it works now with this superb. And I have no doubt, if you're a programmer, if you're a developer, if you're an app developer, that having this shit on there must be fucking brilliant. But the everyday man in the street, it's what? Like one of them 90... Well, it's not, but it's kind of like a 99p styluses off eBay. But I'm guessing if if you're into all that shit and are an actual developer, it works wonders. But when they did that, showing the shiny new iPad last year, and then showed this pencil, that shit should have been free with that. It really should. I bet when the pencil, Benji, was bought out last year, it's just continued on with the new iPad this year. But to me, if they're bringing a brand new iPad out and it's like fucking ridiculous money, that pencil should be in with it. I'm sorry, it's fucking ridiculous. And who saw the fantastic Apple Mac at the end that was looking like holy shit, and it come out at $5,000? But like I say, I don't mind Apple, but I think the shows and the keynotes lately have just got convoluted. It's just... If you sit and watch all that tonight, and it was fucking long, by the way, one of the longest I've seen in a while, and no phone at the end, which was surprising. I mean, is it me being naive? Was everybody expecting a phone? Or is that just me being completely a bit not with the times now? Because I'm guessing, wasn't everybody expecting an iPhone 8 or whatever, or some bollocks, or am I wrong? But that by the by. But what I would say, if you've sat and watched that nearly 2 hours of that keynote, which I did, watched it all, like 95% of that, I mean, I know it's at the World, Developer Conference, so it is for the clever twats that make all the shit that we buy. But it goes out to the world, 90% of the world watches it who buys their stuff. But like 95% of it is just shit that nobody uses. I mean, you go back and have a look at all that keynote if you can watch it, and like all the folders and the Siri stuff and drag and drop, and it's like, really? Does the average man in the fucking street won't use... If you analyse all that keynote, let's say there was 200 actual new things that they showed that their devices could do, whether it be iPad, Siri, phone or whatever. Say 200 things that they showed you could do that were brand new. I'm guessing all us in here and 99% of the world that has their devices probably will not use more than 10 of that new shit properly. Because everybody I know turns Siri off because it's not fucking... It drives you balmy. And it's never fucking... Do you know what I mean? It's just never worked properly. Like Siri, what is a whatever, and it's like today's weather is sunny and rainy. It's just fucking crap. You're right, Par. I mean, but I'm going to put something to you. Money no object. Say we're both looking now for we're looking for our next MacBook / Apple product to do as work. Like, I want to do this show. I want to do all my video editing and all my audio editing and basically run Cranky Gamers on the MacBook, which I do now. And I am ready for an upgrade. You're saying that the very thin line between the new iPad and the MacBook, which it is, technology's catching up. I've got to say, from my personal point of view, I would still, all the time, go with an actual physical laptop-esque piece of hardware. I can't get in my head I mean, I've got an iPad Air now, and it's a fucking cracking device, the best one I've ever had. But what I'm saying is, I couldn't bring myself to use that as my top-end hardware device. I always think it's lacking something, or it doesn't connect correctly, or I want to put USBs in it, or I want to put a camera in it, or I want to import my files into it. It never just is that the be-all and end-all. But pass me my MacBook and it's got slots and shit. And I'll tell you something else as well, by the way. This is a point I want to bring to you. My MacBook Pro is dated 2009. Alright, it's probably still worth 400 quid on the second-hand market because it's got two high high-capacity drives in it. Not hard drives, the other ones, name escapes me. Solid state. So it's got two high... My MacBook would probably fetch 400 quid to some office person or student that would want one, because it'd still work powerfully enough for what they wanted, and it's got some good stuff in it. But my MacBook's got all the right slots in it. It's got two USBs, it's got stuff I can plug my mouse in, it's got stuff I can plug my two cameras in, it's got stuff I can plug my microphone in. So it's basically for my stuff. But I look at the brand new MacBooks now. If I was to upgrade to a new MacBook, not the latest, but like say 3 years old or 4 years old, which would be adequate, they've like removed all the slots now, haven't they? I was watching one the other day where I think I caught a video on YouTube where people were saying, here's a nice piece of tech to connect to your new MacBook, so you've got all the USBs and shit. And I sat and watched that video and I didn't realise they'd done this. I'm like naive and thought, new MacBook, USBs, la-di-ba-di, blah-di-blah, let's fucking go on then. And I looked at this device, and this device is like a big square fucking thing made by some electronics company that has this Apple fucking Fire tube or whatever it's fucking called, slots into the side at MacBook, because that's all they've fucking got now, and then it comes to a box that's basically got every connection that I'm using now. So I'm sat there thinking, well, hold on a minute. So Apple's bought us the now latest tech for stupid fucking money, but I'm now going backwards in time to buy an external thing needed, so all my shit that I've got now works with it. Like removing the headphones in the phone, removing all the fucking USBs on the MacBooks. I don't get where the thinking is. I know that they're trying to make the world come to their devices and do what they want you to fucking do. But why don't they grasp that everyday man in the street still uses USBs and will do for a long fucking time moving forward? Para, I'm going to say something, mate, and I know that you're a PC expert, and I've done all the shit in my time, and I've done all this show for 10 years on my MacBook, and I'm going to say one thing I tell everybody. Ricky keeps getting at me, do it on the Alienware. It's really powerful, it's brilliant, you'll get your work done like that. Two things I'm going to put to you, and I'll argue till the fucking sky turns blue tomorrow afternoon. My MacBook has never crashed. Ever. And I'm not lying. I produce video, I produce audio twice a week, I do all my video editing on it, and we all know that video editing, uploading shit and doing shit like that is very stressful on any computer. My MacBook hasn't crashed a single fucking time in the last 5 years. I'm sorry, but I'll argue with anybody. I know for a fact my Windows PC will crash at some point within the next 2 to 3 months, either recording the show, editing the show, or doing video editing. And the bottom line is, I know it's going to crash, and I don't want to take the risk of something being lost, something being corrupted, or just fucking getting me pissed off with crashing. And anybody's got to admit that Windows PCs crash. They lock up. They get blue screens. And they just do. And they still do. And I've had it on the Alienware. But my honest to Christ, hand on heart, my MacBook hasn't locked up, hasn't rebooted, hasn't crashed a single time in over 5 years. And if you are producing content that you spend time right? If I'm producing content that we put time into, let me put something to you. And I know it's done it because it's happened to me twice in the past. And this actually, way back in the day when Cranky Gamers was about 2 years old, this is what made me move to MacBook. And I've never regretted it to this day. I lost an entire show purely because of a PC crash. I once lost a show halfway through recording because the PC crashed, the recording software crashed, and it lost the file. Gone. 2 hours recording at the time, pissed us off, okay? Parrot, I'm not going to disagree with you, mate, that PC will render video, and that Alienware down there, and you know straight away, it will render my video 10 times quicker. But to be honest, I'd rather sit an extra 45 minutes to an hour waiting for it to render on my MacBook, knowing that it's going to work. I've never had my OS X crash ever. And I've lost a 2-hour recording before. I've lost a fucking 40-minute video editing. Lost, gone, boom. I mean, yeah, mate, you're a way bigger expert than me. I know you are. I'm not even going to sit here and argue that fact. I couldn't. But what I'm going to say is, and you can't deny me the point. What I'm trying to make is, I'm not in a rush. I don't have to sit and get things out immediately. It just doesn't crash. And it just works. And I would have a MacBook every day over a Windows computer. I just would. I don't know why. Yeah, we've just seen it, Toby. We've just been discussing it, mate. Basically, they're a year behind and at 100 quid too dear, aren't they? But, give it, again, straight, I mean, I think it's just because, and it's same with anything, Parrot, as well. You probably work with PCs every single day of your life. But, oh, thanks, Parrot. You're comparing me to your mum now. But it just is. It's easier and it's more reliable. And let's be honest, you cannot honestly now sit here and deny that the Mac OS is more reliable. Without a doubt. I mean, do you know what I mean? And let's be honest, let's put another thing to it. I know it's kind of similar architecture. But when's the last time an iPad crashes? They just are more reliable. And I'll put something to you now, and I bet both our answers are completely different. Let's say tomorrow you've got £2,000 free cash, I've got £2,000 free cash, and we can spend it on our next updated laptop. My guess is you'd go for a Windows PC. I'd go for a MacBook Pro straight away, or I'd maybe go to an iMac because I'd like to sit at my desk. And to be honest, probably in the next, I've only ever messed with Linux, I think once when I was back in my heyday when I used to do a load of PC work, and it was such an arseache. I gave that up in a fucking fart's end. I just, no thanks, go away. You'd buy a multi-core Windows PC with the best, yeah, there you are, you see. And I think it boils down to, as well, like you said, it's your workflow, it's what you do with it. You know how to work your PC most efficiently to get the best out of it, where me, I just know, you know, I know my MacBook inside out. I do my recording movies with it. It never fails. I know what I'm doing. I can now record and edit a video in less than an hour. That includes recording, editing, rendering and uploading, probably an hour for like a 10-15 minute video, which is, again, it's what I just know what to do. Don't get me wrong, I would really like a new MacBook now because, and I'm just about to say this again, I think in the next 6 to 12 months I'm going to have to do something to get a new MacBook because of mine's 2009, which when you actually analyse it, you don't realise how old it actually is. And as obviously we get more where Apple's now even bringing a new OS out, that means I'm now 2 behind. And the longer and further you go, it's going to be worse for you, because then you're going to get to a point where maybe my software that I do use for editing and shit no longer works. So the main issue I have with Apple is cost. My point is the return on investment is better spent on a PC. Really? Macs keep their price all the time though. I use a Mac as a base and use Parallel for Windows, which almost runs native, not for games. I used to have Windows on my first MacBook, and I've got to say, and this is a funny joke as well, Windows never run so much better as it did on my MacBook. And I used to find that very funny as well. Yeah, I used to do the dual boot Windows job, and it never runs so stable. I can't remember why I actually did it. I did it for a reason. I think it was back in the early days when I'd first just swapped to Mac and I was getting used to it. And I think it was the point of, because I had never had a Mac and I was like still reliant on certain Windows stuff and Windows programs. I think this answers the question. When I first moved to MacBook, my first ever question I think to find out for myself was, can I dual to Windows on a MacBook? And I think that kind of analyzes where I was in the day, and that's what I did. And then slowly but surely, as you get nurtured off it, I never bothered with dual boot, or I'd got it still on my MacBook, but I never ever went into it. So the base 5000 Pro, I costed a PC spec of that together for about 1700. But do you know what all that stuff they showed on that PC? I mean, that's high-end fucking developer shit, isn't it? That's like, I'm guessing the people that make these kind of games that's on the screen now, I'm guessing that's the kind of shit they work on. And for them, I think that must have been an absolute godsend. Are you saying that this PC that you could have built would do exactly the same? Or does that high-end iMac Pro, does it do something that others can't do? And if not, why are Apple trying to sell it to people to say this is like the dog's bollocks? My fish tank's clearing. Yeah, it's going to take a long time to clear because it disturbed all the fine sand. And it's still floating in the air. It's got a lot clearer. I've turned all the lights off now. And I think by tomorrow afternoon we should be back to normal. And I'm not putting the stones back in. Fucking terrible. So you're saying that PC you could build would do everything? I agree with you. I mean, it's always been we've all known, haven't we, that Apple, you're paying probably 40% for the fucking name. And I think nothing more clear. And I tell you what Apple are good for, and you'll probably agree with this. Apple are very good at selling you stuff. They just do things like they just do things brilliant. Like the average man in the street would see that and be like, fucking hell, that's a real... They could sell snow to the Eskimos, I'm pretty damn sure they could. Did any of you lot like the AR stuff as well? That was a bit cool, weren't it? But that was kind of like moving on from what Windows showed us a couple of years back, weren't it? That was a bit... I tell you what I see Apple doing, and I think this keynote kind of points it out as well. Apple watch everybody else, such as Echo, the AR with Microsoft and all that. I think they watch everybody else and then spend time making it to their specs, giving it their name, giving it their tag, chucking their price point on it and selling it well. That's what they do. I agree. Yep. You are paying for the name as well. You are paying for the name. And I'll also say this as well. I think if it wasn't as reliable and as good as it does work, I think they wouldn't be able to sell it to people as well as it does anyway. They're just very good at they're just brilliant at what they do. It wouldn't be as refined. Apple build a product with everything together as amazing. Custom builds would be cheaper but would feel... Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. When did Apple last design something that was shit? Seriously. Like they do a phone. They were the first ones that made the phone, you know, what it is today. Nobody can deny that. They've now took it to an extreme and fucking crazy. They were the first to make a decent music player. That's the next level. They're the first people to really nicely integrate a really nice desktop PC. But like you say, you're paying for that. Can you remember... I'll tell you the first time as a person when I first saw Apple, didn't really understand who they was, because it was all PCs back in the day. But then it was the first time that I, as a person who used to do PC stuff, took notice of this thing, and I like used to see it in the shops and think, what the fuck's this? Can you remember the Apple face one that had the coloured back? Like, it looked like a big fat CRTV monitor, but it had like the purple and blue backs with the big apple on the back. Which one was that? That was the first ever time, like, was in the eye of a normal PC man. I used to see it because I used to go to PC shops a lot, and then you saw this thing and everybody were like, what's this thing? And it looked amazing, but nobody ever went with it because it was new and nobody understood it. The Apple Watch stuff at the beginning of that keynote, I've never seen anything so fucking boring in my life. I was joking in this stream, who actually gives a shit about that? Like integration into gym machines and running, and I know that the odd person does, but you're like talking a 1% of like the world's population want this fucking, all this shit on the wrist. Let's be honest, most people that have an Apple Watch on the wrist, they do it for style. I wanted one, but I wanted one because it looked fucking good. I had no desire to, I mean, you could have nice watch faces and shit, but I wasn't one of these that it just looked nice, it looked stylish, just like the iPhones do. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen it, Mr. Freeze. I've seen them make fish tanks out of them. Yeah, definitely. Really? What makes you say that, Para? I hate Windows 10, I've got to say, but I don't use it enough, so I use it very minimalistic. What makes you say that Windows 10 is a better operating system? Do you work with Windows 10? Just throwing it out there. Do you work very regular with Windows 10 and PCs? My PC boots within 3 seconds from cold. Reliable backup on the NAS drive. Oh yeah, you've got a NAS drive, haven't you? Can't fault it. Windows 10 is spyware. There's a lot of people don't like Windows 10, I know that. And I followed, any of you guys follow Barnacles on Twitter? He's a 3D printer. He's a bit of a tech guy. And I like listening to him, and he does not like Windows at all. And let me tell you now, that's a guy that was actually employed at Windows as an operating system programmer. He was at the forefront in Windows, one of the big kahunas that was a programmer, and they let him go after about 15 years. And if you go and watch some of his videos, he's a bit weird and a bit eccentric, but I like his stuff for 3D work. He's a bit mad, but he does some good shit on Windows because obviously he worked there, and he's not frightened on speaking his mind as well. Iceman's back. I'm going to ban you, mate, because you're pissing me off. And you're making me get up as well. I know it's a bot, but you're really pissing me off every night. Nobody gives a shit. And I don't think you are even real. If you are real, just say hello just before I ban you, because you're pissing me off. Yeah, they did, mate. They sacked him when they went downsized, but he just speak a lot of good shit if you listen to him. I've not watched him for a while, though. But he sounds a decent bloke, actually, but he knows his stuff. And obviously, if you're working at the actual end of... They employed him, I think, when he actually wrote a program. One of his videos, he actually tells the story of how he got employed by Microsoft and how he started with PCs, and it was really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. And they employed him because he wrote a program and showed it them, and it was like something that was really good. But he's not keen on them now. He does not like the shit Windows 10 does at all. Not is that the truth, Mr. Freeze? I know he's told some good stories about the time at Microsoft. But the story he gives out, obviously you're listening to what he says. I think the story he gave out, he was let go quite a few of them because there was downsizing. Which, if you think about it, he was there a long time as well. He was stealing station. Are you kidding me? It was redundancy. I'm pretty certain it was redundancy. But what surprised me about his redundancy was he was there at the beginning of this infrastructure. He was a big programmer, and that kind of made me think surely he would be one of the last people that you'd get rid of. If you're downsizing or making people redundant, you don't start at the very beginning with the people that's more experienced. But he didn't start at that end, Mark, did he? He started pretty decent programmer. I can't remember the video that he put up, but it was a good one. Well, it's been a miserable day round here, boys. What's it been like where you lived? It's pissed it down for about 90% of the day today. Luckily, I did manage to get out. And by the way, Parrot, did you choke on your Kentucky that you sent me a picture of? And I actually did find a Rustler's burger in my cupboard, so I have eaten, and I've eaten a burger. It's been pissing it down since about 4 o'clock here, like really bad. He had a hoard of over 2,000 folders, multiple packs of highlighters and hard packs. Are you telling the truth, Mr. Freeze? Honestly, is that the truth? You bastard. You bastard. Oh, I bet it was... God, I ain't had Kentucky for donks. Tell a lie, I had Kentucky about 5 months ago when I went to the pictures with my brother. In fact, I bought a bucket for myself, and I know that is a fucking really pig thing to say. But I didn't eat it all at once. I had it on the way back from the cinema. I bought it back here. I had half of it for my night, and then I saved it for the day after. But I tell you what, Kentucky does not survive overnight, does it? I'm not a big leftovers man anyway, but fucking hell, that chicken was not very pleasant the night after. It wasn't. Sent Mafia 3 back today, boys, by the way. And I don't think I'll get another game before my trial ends. But when my trial ends, I've put all new games in the list. Yeah, I thought, you can't be arsed with that, can you? Excuse me, you can't be arsed with it. It's microwave or nothing. Oh god, that water's murdered me. Question, guys. Any Galaxy S8/S7 Edge owners in this room now? I love Kentucky. Anybody in the room, by the way, because my phone, and I've just read a forum or two, but I couldn't be fucking bothered getting into it. I'd heard this has got a screen that you can have on. It's called Always On. When it powers down, it puts a clock on or calendar. Well, I've got the night clock on, so just ignore that for the minute. But you have a dark screen and it has a clock or calendar. Well, up until yesterday, that close screen was really bright and noticeable all the time. Basically, you could glance down at your phone and see the clock or see the calendar or whatever you'd got. Fast forward to today, and it's like dimmed to a point where you may as well not have the fucking thing on. It's like nearly off. And I've just put it into Google earlier, and apparently there's been an update, and it's started dimming it, and it's fucking useless. So is yours doing the same? Or have I done something? What's happened? Because it's really annoying, because it's one of my favourite things of... I haven't opened the developer options yet, Mark, because one, I did piss about with that on the old Android phone a bit, but I've not really looked into it, because I don't really delve into that shit anymore. But I want to know how I can get that fucking screen back to full brightness, because I like that. And apparently it's an update that's killed it. And people were telling you on this forum today that you need to go in and rewind the update, but also in the same sentence they said that that update apparently was to avoid screen burn, but that's bullshit because that screen's specially designed not to do that because it's in a dark environment. Some power saving options, mine does the same thing, but it never did though, Mr. Freeze. It never did, mate, and I've been in the fucking options as well. I thought it was one of two things. I thought either it was a power saving mode when it went down, but there's 70% of my battery. By the way, can I just fucking say that the battery life on this is fucking unbelievable. And I mean unbelievable. This has sat at the side of me. I've been tweeting all day. I've been checking my mails all day, just like I did on my other shit. And this has used 20% of battery all day. And it's like shit. I'll probably change. Oh, by the way, I've downloaded a game. Don't shoot me. 2 games, guys, and I want you to go and get them because I'm enjoying playing them. And are you listening? Get ready. One of the games is... In fact, where's it gone? Where's my cool fucking game gone? Right, the game... We all know the pool game. Is it 8-ball pool? Mine just started doing 2 days ago. So it does happen to you. And yeah, they want to put it back. It's fucking annoying. 8-ball pool, we all know that when everybody plays it on Facebook and everything, on iPhone and everything, dang, 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 you play against your friends, la-di-da-di-da. From the same company, go and download a game called Archery King. It's fucking brilliant. It's like the pool one. You press and hold the screen and they pull the bow back, let go, you let the arrows. You play against people online, it's brilliant. But I've also downloaded another game today, but it's too frustrating and to be deleted fucking later, called Music Cube Dancing. Have you tried that? It's basically a tune playing, and every time you tap the screen to the beat, it alters the path like that. One of them thin, like, path things. Fucking hell, it's hard. But I never play games on a phone. You know I don't. But go and download Archery King. It's brilliant. If you like the pool one. It's called. And I love it. I keep checking my email every 2 minutes because I'm waiting for fucking review for date. The guy who was handling the date reviews, by the way, I'll tell you the story how it went today. Really nice guy. I've dealt with him for a long time, for quite a while, and shots you bullseye miss Lord. Yeah, because it's the wind, isn't it? It's harder. Gets really fucking harder because of the wind. You've got to use your skillage, man. That's why it gets hard. But I keep checking my thing because the guy who's dealing with the story might be interesting, might not be, but I know you guys like hearing about review shit and how it all works because I get emails. I've had date reviews ever since they started because I used to have a really good contact at Codemasters, and we all know that Codemasters were the originals and always have been, and they're really good at racing shit. So I had a really good contact at Codemasters. I think his name was Tom, I think, way back. Really nice man. And then about 3 years ago, when they moved to like Date Rally, when the name changed from Colin McRae and all that, they then outsourced it to local UK PR departments, which a lot of, by the way, a lot of developers are now doing that. And there's like block PR companies that these developers are going. Because I've been doing it 11 years, I've dealt with individual PR companies and got quite friendly. And they're really good. But Codemasters have been fantastic with us for years. We've had everyone. So this time I'm waiting to hear from it, and I'm already seeing YouTubers play the game as well, so the codes must be going out somewhere. So I actually messaged the guy this morning, can you just, I know because it's E3 you see, so you have to try and, because developers are like running around like headless chickens about now, obviously, because they're sending no end E3 shit out. So I messaged him this morning and said to him, could you please let me know the schedule for the date reviews, because for the community, when I'm going to get to play it, when I'm going to be able to stream it. Also, I want to do it for the show. E3's coming up, you know, all the usual stuff. He immediately get back an out of office reply. I'm at the office till the 8th of June, and I've thought, shit. So that's a real kick in the nuts. So then what I've done, I thought, well, I wonder if there's any contacts still at Codemasters. So I've gone through my circles and all my nifty little ways, and I've gone to find one of the guys at Codemasters. And fair dues, I got a reply from the guy at Codemasters literally 2 minutes after sending. And he wrote back to me, he says, I'm sorry, we all have to deal through the UK PR departments now. He says, I'll get you the guy who's thingy. Because I wrote to him and said, is there any way you could help me? La-di-da, I'm getting out of office. I need some information because of the schedules and la-di-blah-di-blah. I get a reply and he says, hi Julian. He says, thanks for the contact. You have to go through so-and-so, so-and-so at so-and-so. And fuck me if it wasn't the guy I'd already written to that morning who'd given me an out-of-office reply. So I wrote back and I said, really appreciate the reply so quickly. However, the guy you've sent me the name of is the guy that I have just had an out-of-office reply from. And he wrote back, he says, I'm really sorry. He says, that's all we can do. He says, so there's not a lot I can do. And I think he said at the end, he said, if you're really struggling in a week or so's time, get back to me. But fingers crossed, but it's not looking good, sadly. But if I can find some way of getting this £60 into my bank, I could get date on Friday anyway. Which PR guy goes on leave a week? I know. The thing is about that, you see, the PR guy in question, I can tell you now that this week alone, he sent me PR emails for 5 different games. Like I said, most of these big developers now are outsourcing, and there's only a handful of PR companies. That's why it's getting harder and harder and harder. I would say in the last 2 years for us, it's been the worst for reviews that we've had. You either have to push a lot, which I've said on the show in the past, you can't push these companies. You really can't, because if you push them now, they'll just wipe you off the list. And I've had a few do that in the past. The only thing you can do is be polite. And I think I mentioned on the show last week, on the streams, when I said it's a very fine line of timing. If you go too early, you just get forgotten. Go too late, you're too fucking late. It's just timing. And if you go too often, you're proper fucked. So it's a really fine line as well. But I like to think that we have kind of tiny bit of sway in a way that how long we've been going and that we've dealt with them in the past. I mean, I always throw that in the emails because you've got to think these guys, their job is they must be getting like fucking... I'll admit now, I wouldn't do their job for all the money in the world. I wouldn't go into an office to do their job 9 o'clock in the morning. All I'm doing is sitting through shitloads of fucking emails from people like us asking for games, and you've got to hand codes out. I think it must be a fucking nightmare. I'd like to talk to a couple privately and say, what is the criteria? I mean, there's no question. Let's not beat about the bush. We know it. You know it. The big guys, GameSpot, IGN, la-di-blah-di-blah-di-blah, that block, they're instant automatics. They're right into them and saying, here you fucking are. And I'd like to think there is kind of some, not hierarchy, but kind of some kind of structure. And like I say, it's not kind of blowing his own trumpet, but I do remind them that, you know, we've been going 10 years, now 11, and we've got 4,000 listeners and all this, and it's got to carry a bit of weight, but you've got to, because if you don't, you just fucking whoosh. You get left by the wayside, and you get fuck all, to be fair. So the golden chestnut is when they contact you and ask if you want it. That's happened this week, actually, for a nifty little thing that I'm probably going to unbox and have a little bit of a talk about. The company got in touch with me this week that's sending me a couple of peripherals Since Mad Catz has gone under, this company look like they're now taking the mantle of making peripherals, and they're sending me a couple of controllers that are for the Switch to do Mario Kart. I think they should be here within the next couple of days. They contacted me, so that's always cool when companies contact us. I had one last week actually that was really cool. He contacted us to ask if we wanted an app to try on the Xbox, and I said yeah, no problem, and we had that. And then he wrote back to me about half an hour later. He says, can you let me know what show it's going to be on? He says, I've just listened to your show. And I'm like, shit, I never knew they listened to our show. I didn't think any of these PR companies listened to the show. But yeah, this guy said, I'd just listened to the Rambler. He says, it had me crying and laughing. And I thought, oh, okay. So we're just talking about PR stuff, Craig. About how the main PR guy for the Date Rally this week has gone out. Has gone out of office for about 4 days, which is like the game's out Friday. Big guys are giving good reviews, so they play fair. I mean, I'll tell you now, Mr. Friesen, we all go to this Gamergate bollocks and this fine line of what's right, what's wrong. Every PR company would have you believe, and that is their policy, that you are allowed to say what you want about any game, and I will always do that. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it, because that's how it should be. And it goes back to what I was saying this afternoon on the bonus stream this afternoon when I said, you don't like that, do you, Para? It was awful, that was, we know it was. But it kind of took, I mean, I have no... Look, there's a simple fact here, and I know this for the truth because I've spoke to an actual head guy about this years ago. There's no question the big guys get the games because, plain and simply, they are getting a game and they are producing and their content to hundreds of thousands of listeners. And if I was the owners of companies, they'd be first on my list. Of course they would be. My content is going out to them and then going out to hundreds of thousands of people. And this is why I kind of say something's got to be count for something. So that's when I've always said that likes, views and all that, I can guarantee you now that the PR companies, when I ask for something, they're immediately going to the site to check it's authentic. They are checking the numbers. They are checking whatever. So what I'm saying is, your IGNs, your GameSpots, all that, they've got hundreds of thousands of clicks. They're going to get the things every single time, and I don't blame them. The problem I have, though, they've got to be honest. And I think most of them are. Listen, I could be really down to earth and as blunt as you want. If everybody clicked like on the streams every single night and that was hitting 100s, 200s, 300, 400, 500, thousands, I'll guarantee you now the influx of the stuff that we'd get, that's how it works, guys. That is the main criteria. And the most famous one I'll ever tell you, the head guy of European Sony way back in the day when Cranky Gamers was number one on iTunes, 7,000 to 8,000 listeners, like it was the biggest one in the UK at the time, because there wasn't many about, but it was there. I wrote to Sony because I was all new at it, and it was the head guy, and I still think he works there now, because when I go and look at the PR contact list that I've got, his name is still on there, and I'll never forget it either, because it's a name you couldn't forget. I wrote to the guy, and the simple thing is, I wrote to him and said, we're number one on iTunes, showed him the picture, the link. I says, we've got 8,000 listeners, is there any chance you could put us on the list to get Sony games? It's when the PS3 was out, we was just starting, it was great, big news. He wrote back to me with the exact words, thank you very much for contacting Sony PR, whatever. Please can you come back to us when you have got 10,000 plus listeners? And I actually sat there and I actually laughed. And I thought, you're taking the piss, surely. and I can count Sony games, and I'm talking direct Sony, first party, European Sony. I could count the games we've had off them on one hand in 11 years. And the only time we have got them is when they've been like sent out to other PR companies first, and they're given the distribution. So when I say all this thing about likes, I have never been so honest and truthful as saying it's the way it works. They look at numbers. They ask you for numbers every time you write to them. If it's a new PR company, they'll always say, can you give us the stats? Can you show us your stats? What's your site? Can I have the link? They've got to. Simple as, they've got to. Because you are not going to send a product. And let me tell you something now, and I have shown this before. When I get you guys writing to me, and I do get them, and I still get them, and it's actually quite a good thing to do. When I get emails that say, thanks Toz, been listening to your show, you reviewed so-and-so, you talked about so-and-so, it was a game that I would have never got, I bought it on your say-so, it's one of the best games I've ever played, thank you very much, I would never have got it, appreciate it. I save them. Because it all boils down to the point of the PR companies can see that you guys are buying games on our say-so. And that is the way this wicked thing works. So, it is. It's simple. It is, I mean, at the high end, let's not beat about the bush. The Gamergate thing now is getting to what, 12 months old now, and it was atrocious what happened, and the only good thing to come out of it is it did come out, and it's the same as when the big controversy kicked off with Gershman and Payday, was it, when all the shit hit the fan and it was proven that they were paid to give a good review. When that came out, it's same as anything in life, when bad shit has to happen for good shit to come out of it. And it's the same with Gamergate, it's the same with the Jeff Gershman thing. People finally found out that sometimes at the top, yes, they were being paid to give positive reviews, which totally destroys the underlying point of it all. But what it does do, and I have no doubt that when that kind of shit happened with the GameSpot, Jeff Gershman, and it all come out on their website and stuff, and they had to admit it and they got into trouble, I think that sites like ours and the lower end and all that benefited no end, because people like you guys saw the bullshit that it was, and then you'd say, you know what, I ain't listening to them fuckers anymore because I can't trust a thing that they say. They tell me that fucking whatever's brilliant, for all I know it's a sack of shit and they've been paid to say it. So always trust reviewers that say a game is shit. I'll give you an example. I'm not blowing my own trumpet. How many reviewers said that Zelda was awful in this last 6 months? But I'm telling you, for what I feel, from my point of views as a gamer that's been doing it 40 years, I've finished every other Zelda game that's ever come out. I understand what way they went with that game. For me, it didn't work. I didn't like it. The mechanics were wrong. But for gamers like you that get games and pay 50 quid for them, that push through that barrier, you enjoyed it because you got your benefit and you got your gameplay out of it. You was willing to embrace that thing. But I was totally honest. I told you what I thought. Now you take that for whatever way you want to do it. But what I'm trying to get back to you and get round to you is quite simply, I would trust a website and a review site that calls a game shit more than I would if they were saying this game's out of this world and it's amazing. So what do I've just seen the court question coming down. What do I rely on for game scores? And I don't rely on anything. I rely on me. The only time I'll look at stuff, and I've said this many times, in fact, not very rarely, I don't. If I think I'm going to get a game, buy a game, get a game for review that's a good game or a new game that's coming out, I will never look, read, see, search anything till I've had my hands on it. Then after, I'll get my opinion of it, I'll play it, I'll think what I'm going to say, and I'll give my honest opinion of it. Maybe after I'll then go and say, I wonder what so-and-so have said, I wonder what they've said, and it's not to change my opinion, it's just to get an idea of what they think. And going back to the Zelda thing, everybody lost the shit, everybody was saying it was 10 out of 10, then when all the shit died down, all reviewers kind of were saying, well, it's maybe 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, because it started to level out. So, similar to what Para's saying, like this week, Date 4, I'm a bit in a quandary, because this is where like a kind of barrier comes up. I'm in a bit of a quandary. Date, as you know, is one of my favourite driving games. I am a driving game fan. It's one of my favourite genres. So it's high on my list. If I was one of you guys, it would be high on my list. Now, however, there's a possibility I could be getting a review. There's a possibility I couldn't. So I'm like on a fence. I've got to be careful. But I did go and look at coverage this week because somebody reminded me it wasn't what I was expecting. So I was slightly wrong in my thoughts. So I had to go and look at it. I did look at it for 2 or 3 minutes, got the information of what it was. Now I know what I'm getting. I'm now sitting and waiting to see if I get a review. So it's there. Would you take on the head of Sony in a no-holds-barred MMA contest to secure your review? Yeah, of course I would. Look at the size of me, man. Definitely. Mark, and that's the kind of point, and this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, I'm not saying that I'm right all the time. I'm not, but I hope you kind of get the feeling. This is why I'm always passionate. I am passionate about this. I've been doing it too long, and I'm a very opinionated person. You all know that. And you take it or you leave it. And I'll always tell you, look, if you don't fucking like it, the door's behind you. See you. There's thousands of other sites you can go and watch. Thousands of other sites you can go and listen to. Go and knock yourself out. I'm not offended if you don't like me. I'm not offended if you don't like what I do. Simple as. What I'd like to think I am is honest, down to earth, and I will always tell you whether a game's good, shit, bad, or in between. To be honest, I know this might be a bit crazy. I mean, people ask me a lot, would you like to be one of the big YouTubers with like 20,000, 30,000 views every time you put a video up, or your podcast is getting like 100,000 viewers? Obviously, from a financial point of view, of course I would, because I'd have an income from the thing I love doing, and it would only make the channel better, and I'd be able to do real shit really good and proper. On the other hand, I've often thought this, let's take it the other way. Imagine the reviews that we would get then. It'd be like overkill. So imagine like this week, or imagine, say, let's come to November time. Say if we was suddenly catapulted to like catastrophic heights, and then at my door the fucking postman's bringing a bag, not slotting the odd thing through my post, but bringing me a bag, and in that bag is like 30 games, Call of Duty, all this, that and the other, and I'd like be thinking, shit. Then it becomes the other side of the coin and a problem. It's a bit crazy, I'd like to go, but it's a fine line. I love hearing your views on games. Sometimes I disagree, but I like hearing what you and the... Yeah, and that's the point. And that's why I used to listen to podcasts. I used to listen to the guys at 1UP, because 1UP were very honest. We spoke about 1UP in the past, and if you haven't ever heard of 1UP, go back onto iTunes. I think they've got archives of shows way back. Go and listen to 1UP back in the day. It's what got me into gaming podcasts. It's got me into reviewing games. And I was just one of you guys. Couldn't wait for the show to go live. Loved it. There was about 4 or 5 of them. I didn't like 2 of them at all. I thought one was fantastic. It's the guy who went to Bungie and was brilliant. Luke, I think his name was. He was so opinionated. He reminded me of myself at the time. He didn't give a shit. He got into more trouble than a little. But I loved that day of when that show come out. Yeah, my postman would love it. The only thing good about the postman, the sorting office is only 2 minutes away. So it would be good if we got that. I mean, it would be a weird thing to see what you'd have to do. Like the Patreon for Game Over Greggy and them guys kind of funny, and we always talk about this, and people write to me about this a lot. You know, their Patreon's like 120 grand a month, and when you actually analyse that, they're getting $120,000 a month just from their Patreon. That's disregarding all the other shit they get, because they've got adverts coming out the backside, haven't they? Because I've had a couple of you guys write to me and say, is it right that they put adverts all over their programs every 5 minutes, and yet they're getting 100 grand Patreon? Look, that's their dues. All I say about that is I used to get fucking death threats and called to shit for just sticking my PayPal up. I'm surprised I've not had it putting PayPal on this stream. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a weird thing. It's a crazy thing that, but I also agree with, I don't begrudge them that. Don't take that chat for me being really jealous. What? No, not in the fucking slightest. It's brilliant. Knock yourself out. I think it's great. I have a slight problem with them getting all that money and then having adverts for all that stuff at the beginning all the time, and it's like, that's just a little bit weird. You know, you're getting all that and you want more. We all want more. Any chance you can get an advert or two? None of it. I have been asked about adverts, and I always had a thing in my always thing about Cranky Gamers, and this is the thing I always tell to PR companies as well. Always. I've always been ad-free. We had one good thing right at the beginning, and they're still going today, called LimeXB360. They're a really nice bloke. Chris was the owner, I think he still is. I met Chris and talked to Chris. He started about the same time as we did, and he's turned LimeXB360 into a major game peripheral headphone company, and he's doing really well for himself. We had a sponsorship from him when we first started. It's what paid for the charges at the beginning. I got a couple of headset centers for review. He was really good. I think you should put something on here. This PayPal there, Craig. It's right there on the bottom. That's the only thing. And an odd couple of people still donate, because I won't have Patreon anymore because I'm not putting up with the shit. We've done Kickstarter. I don't want to do another one because, again, of the shit. That PayPal is linked to Cranky Gamers. It has been since day one. That used to be up on the main website as a donation button that you could click. But now that is the PayPal account associated to this stream, Cranky Gamers. That is it. It's always been the same. But yeah, it's always been. I've talked about money and shit before. It's crazy. I don't even play games anymore. Don't have much time with work and baby. I still listen to the show because I've listened since. Oh yeah, they were the good days. They were the really good days, Mr. Freeze. But yeah, and going back to just finishing off that chat about kind of funny and their Patreon, I don't begrudge that at all, because I always say this. Everybody's entitled to spend the money how they want to spend it. Simple as. So if everybody wants to support them, I support guys. I Patreon a couple of things, and I support Indiegogo companies. You know that I've always got a couple of Indiegogos on the go. That sounds a bit weird, because it's what I want to do. It's what I like doing, and again, if people choose to support their favourite things, and it keeps them going, so be it. I don't have a problem with it. And that's going back to the chat we had this afternoon. If somebody gets an item free for reviewing, I don't sit there and go, oh my fucking god, what's he got that for free for? I'll sit there and say, well, I hope he's going to review it properly. And it's the same with anything. And the big misdemeanor that everybody doesn't get mixed up in all this, it does cost money for me to keep Cranky Gamers going. And I have always been the one on my own that has paid for it. And it's as simple as that. And all the people that say about that, it costs money. It costs nearly 20 quid a month for me to put it up, and it costs me about £60 a year for the name and the website. So it does cost money. And I always go back to this thing when everybody says, oh, I'll go and do a podcast. I'd like to put a podcast up. You know, as soon as they find out that it has to be money and you pay for shit, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, hold on. What do you mean? And that's what it is. So, anyway, it's there. No, but again, Craig, I've been asked that many times, and I don't have any problem with none of the guys helping towards the cost. I don't. I never have done. It's my site, my show. I own it. They're co-hosts, and I also agree they've got families. So no, I've never asked for. Don't get me wrong. If the show was going under, and I would say to the guys, look, if you want to carry this on, guys, we've got to find some money. If I couldn't afford it, then I'd say I can just afford it. I'm not going to lie, I can just pay for it. And I've paid for it since November, since the shit happened. So I've paid for it now for 6 months or so. I've had a couple of donations through that PayPal that has helped with a couple of months' payment, no problem. But yeah, I'd never ask the guys to do it, no. Because one, they've got families and stuff as well. So... the one, I think I said this when all the shit happened way back, you know, when we had the meltdown stream, which is still, I get asked about that. When I said that it's always intrigued me that we've had 4,000 listeners, it would only take, if all them put 50p in to Patreon when it was going, that works out at about £2,000. Imagine how long that keeps, and I don't, that's like saying, oh my God, you asking, no, I'm not, I'm just being logical. Around average of 3,800 to 4,000 people a week listen. If every one of them, because I used to get all the shit again, if every one of them said, here's 50p donation, that's £2,000. And I've said this before, and this is the biggest surprising thing. In 10 years, there has only ever been around 40 individual people ever donated to this show. And that may surprise people. Probably less than 40 as well. But anyway, don't matter. It's done. It is there. It's on that page. Everybody knows it's there. So what games is everybody playing as well? I must admit, when I started to try and play this game today, I was thinking about, I took Mafia 3, I went and took it to the post office today, sent that back. As I said earlier, I don't know if I'll get any more. In fact, I wonder if I've got the email of my updated list. Let me just check. It's not a big list, actually. I meant to read it out earlier. If any of you guys can think of any other things to put things on. I'm pissed off about that fucking BT filament being posted, because that's a pain in the ass as well, innit? Which email box do I need? As the donation thing on the bottom of the page, look, Toz from CG UK podcast, feel free to donate to the channel, PayPal, TOZ. It's there. That's always been going. Always. So yes, Parrot, it's always been there. It's never changed. It's just that I took the actual donation button off the blog page because, as I said, it's all the thing in it. So, Jerry Ann Cutler, the game or Mass Effect 4? Am I missing that, Jerry Ann? Can you just rephrase the question? Am I missing something? Are you asking a question? I just noticed that down there, mate. There you are, you see. There you are. Have I missed a question? Oh, a game to play, you mean, for the stream? Lego City drove me mad. You saw that stream, didn't you? So my iCloud storage is nearly full. I'm sick of that fucking message as well. I'm trying to find what did I sign up with? Bear with me. I'm going to try and find my list. Actually, it won't be on that one. It will be on that one. And I'll read you the list that I've done. Why is that being an arse? Bear with, people. Here we are. I'll read you my list if it's still there. Which one to buy? Horizon Dawn. We spoke about this, Jerry Ann, earlier. This is my best video game I've ever played in my 40 years of playing video games. Period. And as a gamer, you should play this game. It's phenomenal. The wish list is, and it's not very big. If you guys can think of anything to stick on it, have you tried Crossfire? Have you went back to Skyforge? Final question, did you try that Marvel Heroes game? I didn't try that Marvel Heroes game, Simon. No, I didn't. But, right, here we go. The list I've got is Wipeout, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Dirt 4, Tekken 7, Yakuza 0, This Is Police, and Ukulele. So, any games you guys can think of that I could stick on that list for my rental that obviously will get streamed on here, I will gladly stick them on here. But I could not any more. Do a Derby Road to the Premiership series. I've not got a football game to play. I don't think I have. I love the combat in games from BioWare, though the Inquisition was superb. Jerry Ann, I'll tell you now, the combat in this is fantastic, because the thing about this, it's very simplistic. It's very easy to follow. You got bows, you got your other stuff, but it's not the combat itself, it's what you're fighting that's the best thing. It's the animals that you fight, the mechs, and then the story. It's massive. 77 hours I finished this, platinumed it. It's everything in a package. Definitely worth every penny this game is. And as for Mass Effect, I've got Mass Effect Andromeda. I had finished the other three. Mass Effect Andromeda was way better than I thought it was going to be, but it was just something about it. I streamed it for a while. The guys liked it. I liked it. As I said, it was way better than all the press had said, bar all the silly shit that went off with the graphics. But I will say, there was just something about the longevity. It didn't grab me, as we talked about this afternoon on the stream, where this kind of game, I'm a very story driven person. I love games with stories. I heard combat wise it's similar to Mass Effect. By the way, I've never played a Mass Effect game. You're joking. I will say then, Joanne, if you want a Mass Effect game, you might be able to pick one up cheaper if you don't want to spend full price. Go and get yourself Mass Effect 2. Obviously the trilogy and the Andromeda is all there, but go and get Mass Effect 2. As a game, you will enjoy it. Again, for story and all that. What's a decent price to pick up Mass Effect Andromeda? I'll sell you mine, is an easy answer. Have I still got it? I think I've still got it. I'll sell you mine if you want. Did I buy it digitally or disc? I can't remember. No, I've got the disc. I'll sell you mine. If that's what you meant, Mass Effect Andromeda, yeah, I'll sell you mine. Because it's on the shelf, I think, somewhere along the line. And I won't be going back to it. I only have a PS4, so I have no choice. I have to get the new one. In that case, then, Mass Effect Andromeda is still owed in its price. I'd get this. Seriously, I'd get this, because this and Mass Effect Andromeda are like not even close. This is gonna win Game of the Year for every single podcast that's out there. I'll guarantee you that this wins Game of the Year on every single one. There'll be nothing that touches this game. And that's a bold statement, but I think I'm right. I'd pick it up on PC, but not at 50. You could have it on PlayStation Pro. I'll sell it you for 25 of the UK pounds. If you wish. Email me your address and I will send it to you. But before you do that, I best check I've still got it. I must still have it. Horizon Zero Dawn. Oh no, Jack, no way. If you got stuck in the first cauldron, you probably needed to carry on with the story. Because the story is what actually gets this game way more just more involved to me. I am sure I've got Thingy. People say that about Witcher 3, though I think that game... You see, Witcher 3, again, it's a very large game. Witcher 3, I would say, as I said it on this show, I've finished it, loved it, one of the highest rated games around. But again, kind of what Jack's just said about this game, did I sell it? I don't know, my brain's old and decrepit. I'm going to get up and have a look in a minute. I might have sold it, Para, so don't calm down. So going what Jack's just said about this game, if you was into Witcher 3, play the game at the start, get into it, enjoy the controls. What I would have done then is concentrated completely on the story. Forget all the side shit. This has got loads of side shit, but this is good. The side shit in Witcher, ignore it, because there's too much over it. It's way jam-packed full of unnecessary stuff. What I would say, I would just go and play Witcher 3 to the story, because you will still enjoy the game. It's have 35, 40 hours content on that story, and when you'd finished it, you would enjoy it as a story, but then if you did enjoy it that much, you'd go back and clear the other stuff. I just think the story in this game, given the combat, the way it's handled, the weird way between kind of Stone Age man tribes and what the story's telling you, which is just brilliant. The payoff at the end is fantastic. I got to the W3 mission, I just can't. It's too many menus for consoles. Witcher 3. I must admit, as I say, try and go back to what I would suggest, Jerry, and is go and try Witcher again. If you're in a point where because when you leave them games and go back to them, you always forget the mechanics, you forget the story, you forget how to fight. If you wouldn't mind going back to the beginning again, or you pick up from where you left off, just go back to the game and just 100% concentrate on the main story. Definitely. And I assure you, because the story is good enough to get you through it. I'd like the next Tomb Raider to be open world. Like, it's not going to be though, is it? You know it's not. It just ain't. Horizon Zero Dawn. Do you know what game I've never put on? I was sent for review. I ought to actually play it on the stream at least once. Puyo Puyo Tetris, but is it a streaming game, for Christ's sake? Is it? Am I going to play Destiny 2, Toz? I am, Jack. I will be buying it on day one. I will play it. I will enjoy it. I like Destiny as a game. I won't get deeply involved like the other guys, but I will buy it and I will enjoy it. And I actually got super stoked when I watched the videos last month. So much so I nearly got Destiny 1 back out. I can't see my Mass Effect. Did I sell it? Destiny 2 is out, is it September something? Steve would be able to tell you in a second, because he's pre-ordered it. I'm tempted. I've got to get up now because I want to find out if I've still got Mass Effect. It's intrigued. Just I want to know. Bear with. Bear with. So, Little Nightmares. That reminds me, I need to send Luke that back. He lent me that. Dun dun dun! The reason you couldn't see it, it's in my movie section. So, Para, if you want to buy it, it's there. £25 for anybody who wants to take it off me. I have got Mass Effect Androm. So yeah, anybody who wants to buy it, get in touch, crankytoz@gmail.com. And I'm sure we can sort something out. Oh, Ricky, if you're listening, you kill me, man. You do cheer me up at times. I've just received a donation from Ricky because he's listening to the stream. You kill me. Well done, Ricky, mate. Bang on. He's just sent me £10,000. Yay, I've got a donation. He hasn't sent £10,000, by the way. Is Little Nightmares good? If you want to see Little Nightmares, Jack, jump onto Cranky Gamers YouTube channel, scroll down, and I stream that from beginning to end. Watch the first episode. I think it's in 3 episodes. Watch the first episode. Maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, or maybe the full hour. I guarantee you will go and get it. It's only 15, 16 quid to buy. Phenomenal game. The stream room loved it. Cheers, Rickster, for the donation. I got to make a graphic now pop up, didn't I, with one of them silly faces. Thank you for the donation. Diddler, diddler. Yay! Is Skyrim good compared to DA3? Skyrim... I like Skyrim. I got within... The big joke of this show, this podcast and this stream has always been I famously didn't finish Skyrim. But the reason it's famous because I used to get ribbed on the podcast because I literally was halfway through the very last quest of the entire game and I famously never finished it to the end because I got pissed off with it because I kept dying on the way to the end. But Skyrim's an awesome game. It's not my main cup of tea. Not a massive fan of them, but it was still good. Definitely recommend it. Yeah. But Little Nightmares, by the way, the payoff... I can edit the things. I get asked this a lot, Parrot. When these... You see, I've always said that I like streaming to YouTube on the PlayStation 4 because, one, I like it live with you guys, but as you see, a lot of people watch them after, which is quite cool. It would take me 5 minutes to go and edit what we do. I called it the nightly stream because it's what I was planning on doing. It's a nightly stream. We chat. It's like Cranky Gamers Impromptu. I do stream games about 50-50. And we have a good room, we have a good chat. So let me just say, your video names after they go up, they're listed as toz6666's stream, and people don't know what it's like. So you know when you're looking at your YouTube title, what does it actually say? Because when you set up this stream, you can change the title in here. And I think by default, I'm not sure if you can change it by default on here, but you can change it later by going into YouTube. So what I might have a look at, I could probably do with it saying Cranky Gamers UK show stream night or something. So I'll have to have a look next time I click stream on here. In fact, when I finish the broadcast tonight, I will jump in and have a look, because I'll also change the wording at the bottom. Does anybody have any... What do you think I should put at the bottom? toz66's Cranky Gamers nightly stream. Yeah, I've made that like that, by the way. You're right, Jerry, and you can play too many of them. You've got to pace yourself. Like jumping from this to another big one. Like, I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, I did 77 hours of this, finished it, platinumed it, and I think the very next game I streamed was Mass Effect Andromeda, and it was like, ugh. And you're right, you can't play that all the time. They drive you balmy. So what would you suggest, Parrot, as a title? 2 things opening it to the room. What do you want me to call the stream? And I mean this as a... I could change it every night. Right, so what you want to do then, would you guys rather me have, say tonight, I could have put on this one, Cranky Gamers UK stream, Horizon Zero Dawn /chat. Or I can just put the name of the game. But you see, I don't know, but I'll remember to do it every night. But I will throw it open to the room. What do you recommend I put across the bottom? Although the bottom's very, very restricted because it's an arseache to do it. Give me your money. Is that too aggressive? Good one, Carl. As daft as it sounds, that would probably work, wouldn't it? Like, give me your money, you bastards. But I probably will put the whole word PayPal, because that's not too clear. I mean, none of you guys saw it. And I think, by the way, I can change the colour of the bottom bar. I don't think you can move it. I'll tell you what I am interested on trying, and I'll throw this open to the room. When I click stream, I can have this go to Twitch if I want to. Yeah, I'll do that, Para. I will put more information when I start the stream or whatever I'm planning to do. But when I do click the stream, I can do it to either YouTube. Shindo's in the room. Look, can't you tell? Is that your first contribution to this room? I can go to Twitch. Now, I think Para was the one that mentioned it, and a couple of people contacted me. Don't forget, if you're a member of Prime on Amazon, which a lot of people are, you get one free subscription every month to subscribe to somebody on Twitch. Now, and the point is this as well. I don't think there's no harm in you going to put your Prime into Cranky Gamers Twitch. I very rarely use it because I've explained to the past. This is just straightforward of click a button, it's on YouTube, and I don't have to fanny about with it. But obviously I can change it. But the point is, I will change the game, guys. You're not the first to ask it. Everybody asks it. It's just that I'm just too arse. I just forget. But what I could do, I could click to Twitch. Now, I don't know what the notifications are like for Twitch. I will get... Now, let me ask you the rumour question. It's died down a bit. There was a decent amount in here. But what I could ask you guys, when you get the notification that I've gone live, where do you all get it? Do you get it through a YouTube notification? Do you get it through a Twitter notification? Or where do you get it? And the reason I ask for, I can go to Twitch through this. But I don't know. Obviously, if I go through YouTube, I'm guessing that YouTube triggers it and clicks a notification on. But also, I've also got Twitter ticked, so that triggers one. Now, the point being, so you get a YouTube one. You see, that's the worry. If I did go to Twitch, I don't think you'd get the notifications as much. They'd only go through Twitter. So if you're not a member of Twitter and don't follow me at Tozol, Tozol, you're not going to get notified. But going back to the Twitch thing, if you are a Prime subscriber, you can donate one subscription every month to your favourite Twitch streamer. And I don't think there's any harm of you doing it even though I don't go through Twitch, because it's free to you anyway. But I think I'd get a cut, by the way. That's what somebody mentioned to me. Do you not want to go through Twitch and get the subscription idea? I never knew how subscriptions worked on Twitch. Never got Twitch ever. But somebody's informed me that there's a cut. I think everybody's entitled to a $4.99 subscription to their favourite Twitch streamer. Now, I have a Twitch, Cranky Gamers UK. You'll see it. It's on there. Very rarely used. But somebody's told me that you get a cut of it. Half of it, I think. Twitch gets some of it. Ah, there you are. I was subscribed to Prime for a couple of months but didn't see any benefit. A lot of people are on Prime. A hell of a lot of Prime people. I get loads of people telling me that. But what I'm saying is if you are a Prime member, you get a free sub. So it's nothing to you, I guess. Go and support your favourite Twitch streamer, even if it's not me. Go on to Twitch and do your free subscription every month. Twitch get a cut, and the guy who's doing the Twitch stream gets a cut. And there you go. Only got video Prime, is it included with that? I couldn't tell you, Carl. The best way I could suggest is just go on to Twitch and have a look. I've got a feeling I sub using my Prime on Twitch. There you go. I mean, Para, if you actually know how to use that and tell us what happens, a few people probably would know what to do. I mean, I've never noticed any subscriptions appear on Twitch, and I've also Twitch, although I don't use it like I said, it is still there. The account's live. I still get the odd subscriber to it. But the point is, I've never had a single donation come through Twitch yet, ever. Whether it be a subscription or a PayPal donation. And there's actually a PayPal donation button on Twitch because it's very rarely touched. So it is there. I'll tell you what I might do tomorrow, just as a tester. But you see, I've seen it. I've just said it. I've just said you've donated 10 grand. We've just had a laugh. Brilliant, mate. We're having a good laugh. I said Ricky's donated 10 grand to the channel. By the way, Ricky, please tell me you've checked your Twitter. I've been trying to get you all day because there's a really important thing that you need to read. Have you ever played Ori and the Blind Forest? I know it's no... Oh my god, Jack. Ori and the Blind Forest. I would probably say, bar the silly fucking human game that we played on here a few weeks ago, that is the closest I've come to smashing a controller. But it's a shame, because that is a beautiful game, lovely game, clever story, but fuck is it hard. It's one of the most difficult platform games I think I've ever played in my life, and the only thing that kept me going in that was it was just good to play. Check it again, your eyesight's going. What's he done there? Wait a minute. Oh, he's donated hundreds of pounds, I bet. Can I retire? Can I come and get a chalet down at your place on retirement? Oh my god, that better not be you. Why have you donated that much, you clown? You didn't have to donate that. And I wasn't moaning either, we was having a discussion. Alright, I've got your message. Appreciated, and you didn't have to, you know you didn't. By the way, read your bloody Twitter. Thank you, Rickster. Appreciated, mate. Yeah, read it, because you need to know somebody's trying to sell you something awesome. And you should be snatching their hand off for it. But yeah, it wasn't mean to be moaning about the... Everybody was just asking about Twitch and donations and shit, and we got chatting. It's been a good chat tonight. Yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest, back to that. It was one of them... It was a strange relationship I had with that game, because it was beautiful to look at, gorgeous to play, but it was really good. And the weird thing about that game, I really wanted to play it because it was that good, but shit was it so hard. And I got past, you know, the first section when you first opened the first bit of the tree and it like took you on to the second one. Listen, if you actually go for that, I'll give you that donation back, because I think that offer's too good to turn down, by the way. Crazy. Just think what the guy's selling and how much and what's with it. You want your bumps feeling if you don't jump on that. All the shit you buy, you should be on that now. But yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest. I got to the first section. I finished that entire first section where you open the tree. Went to the next bit. I think the very early bit of the next bit just drove me to despair. So it's crazy. Good game though. I think it was given free, weren't it, on Xbox monthly gold games, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's windy as hell here. It's like a storm. Oh dear. I'll pay double to get my bumps felt. God, I'll pay treble to get my bumps felt. What I was about to say before was just going back to that chat. What I am going to try tomorrow, just out of interest, and I think this might be, I mean, Ricky might be able to answer this better than anybody. When I push to the stream tomorrow night, I'll push it to Twitch instead. And I'll be interested, do we still get the chat on here? I think we do, don't we? I have no idea. This is a PlayStation thing, isn't it? It's not a YouTube thing. But yeah, I might push to Twitch just to see how it is. So be aware, I will be streaming tomorrow, but it's more likely to be on Twitch just as a test. Because I've not done it for ages. Great game, Shindo. Fantastic game. My DualShock's about to run out of power. Which means I've got to change headsets because that other one buzzes. Because it's a piece of shit and I've got to send this headset back. So I need to grab the other one, which I think's behind me. So I might have to change controllers in a minute, guys. In fact, it'll make me pack this up and send it back. It's a great game. Lovely game. That's a game where the start of that, because I played it as episodic, so it's really cool you've got them all. When you played it as episodic, it was like a better step from Telltale, because Telltale's like 10 shit. Yeah, I'll speak tomorrow, mate. If you're up for a chat tomorrow daytime, give me a shout, we'll have a chat. But thank you again, matey. Have a good night. But Life is Strange, it was a better move from Telltale. We all know that Telltale's like 10 presses each episode and you've done. At least Life is Strange really got you involved and it was a great story. I just thought it was fantastic. Apparently it's got an easy platinum as well, I've read. But I haven't got it. All down to the photos. You may get stuck in that game as well. It's really nice to play, lovely to look at, but there's a few weird little puzzles that kind of have you scratching your head and you like think, what have I got to do? But it's okay. Let me try and grab this other headset behind me. So bear with me guys, I'm just going to change headsets because my DualShock's nearly ran out. So bear with. I don't think I've charged this DualShock in donkey's years. That headset can go back to Amazon because it crackles. Bear with. So I'll return that this evening. Sorry for the banging and shit. That should be that. That should be that. Am I back? These are actually comfy. I'm just pissed the cable's nearly broke. Can you hear me? You posted that, didn't it? I don't want to see that unit. I nearly clicked on your link as well and I was nearly like, oh, stop, shit. I've seen the dev units before. The big blocks with the clock on the front. Is that what you posted today? But as soon as I saw your picture, I didn't click it. But yeah, if it's that exact, if it's that same thing, then yeah. So, yeah. Please go on, please. Oh, that's it, my back going for that headset. Oh my god. I've just got one of them funny irony. The actual emails you get from Amazon to say your recent order, will you review it, is for that headset I'm going to return tomorrow. And I never click them either, I never review them, they drive you bloody balmy. I don't think I've got the PayPal app installed on my phone. Have I got? Right, let me just click. Just write an important email, guys. Be with you in a second. I'm sick of that happening with my keyboard. Oh, I'm trying to type to fucking pass now. Sorry guys, 2 minutes. Right, that should do that. Send. Right, well, so right. Saw a picture of the Vita 2, don't know if it's fake, but it looks nice. Oh my god, why are you all looking at stuff that you've only got 5 days to wait? Jesus Christ! No, this is slightly different. It's got 3 USB ports and 5 mystery buttons. The 5 mystery buttons are for paying for shit, no doubt. Yeah, FIFA's got announced today. I saw a big announcement from one PR company today, I think, I saw it after we'd finished the stream this afternoon. It came up saying, big announcement, FIFA 18's been announced. And I was like, and you didn't expect that because? It's as sure as fucking day follows night, FIFA's coming out. I'd be more shocked if you said, big announcement, no FIFA this year. That's a headline. Not, FIFA's coming out. Woo, tell me something I don't know. Shall I try and go and clear one of these camps for you in this game? Let's see a bit of gameplay for 20 mins. Let me see how good I am at playing this again. Let me get my act together. Shall we try some Robin Hood shit again with my awesome bow and arrow work? Do you want to watch some skillage? Oh, it's a long way off, that is. Boom. Oh, what a shot. Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Robin Hood, with his band of men. Robs from the rich, gives to the poor. Robin Hood. Aren't I full of the joys of spring this evening? Robin Hood, riding through the glen. Donations to stop singing. That's what I ought to do. Sing and then say, I will stop singing for donations. I will sing for my supper. What is that cross on the map? Robin Hood. That's the cross. What bullshit is that? I can't remember what that cross is for. What is it? Quick, somebody make a ringtone of... That's cool. I've got a decent baritone voice. Robin Hood, riding. Don't forget I used to be into my singing games. Getting a bit old and a bit rusty now, though. What's that fucking thing? Oh, it's the 3 camps, that's it. And mute. You're all cheeky gits, you lot are. Notebook. Is it one of the animals? Yes, let's get across. Boom, OCD. Boom, OCD. Boom, back out. Robin Hood with this... It's pretty big news. PlayStation are now getting League of Legend players on FIFA. This was once an export. Oh, right. Gotta say, FIFA, as big a footy fan as I am, and I am, I've been supporting football since I was 5 years old. I love it, but I would not... I just don't like footy games. I'm afraid. Is that all the donation dings to make me stop singing? Right, let me just stock up with arrows because we're heading to a place that's a pain in the ass. And I probably will die because I'm a bit rusty this evening. You need to do a singing game stream with drink involved somehow. I'd never go on. I wouldn't. You know what I'm like as a social person, which is I would never sing. I like singing. I sing to myself all day. I love singing. I've done all the games and shit, and I've been told I can sing. I can tell you a story why I absolutely hate Robin Hood, the Prince of Thieves, Shindo. It's a very funny story. You know the godforsaken Bryan Adams song? You know, every time that shit. I have a real problem with that, because that broke the record of Elvis Presley being the longest at #1 in Britain. With that god-awful fucking song. And I absolutely fucking detest it because of it. I need to just do a strategy of which one I'm going for here. So I need to flag that one. Because believe me, this is a ball ache. I'm not going to lie. I'm alright because these are my men. Providing they're not in yellow. The ones in yellow are the ones. You see, what the arse ache is here, you've got corrupted. Look. You've got corrupted, and it's asking you to clear the camps, look. And stop that bell ringing. I remember this was a fucking... Which one? My Robin Hood? Oh, no, you mean the song Bryan Adams? I fucking hate it because it beat Elvis Presley's record. 16 weeks at #1 is a fucking joke. Where did he come from? Shit. I just heard the noise. I just heard that noise, then it shit me up. I will tell you what I've got going at the minute, and I heard... Oh, Christ, all the shit's kicked off now. Wait a minute, let me pause it. I think that's fucked up. What's your favourite song in a movie? I'll tell you something now. I've ordered
recently watched Sing, the kids animation. Well, I say kids animation. That's a load of bollocks because I love the film. Watch Sing. I went and bought the album. Fantastic. Then I found out it was free on fucking Spotify. By the way, go and listen. I'm going to surprise you with this. Find the soundtrack. It's on. Is it on Spotify? I think it is. Yeah. Sing the album from the cartoon. Scroll down the songs. There's some real classic songs on it. But find. What's the title? Fuck me. It's my favourite song at the minute. But it's not the song. It's who sings it. Will blow your mind. And you'll all go and try it on Spotify. I love that song. I sing it to death in the house. I was singing it yesterday. And the song is by Scarlett Johansson. Bear with. Let me get my Spotify app so I can actually find you the title. Go and find Sing. I've opened fucking Amazon Music. Never been an idea. So, Spotify. Another song I'm into at the minute, Dreams by Your Library song. So my playlist is Dreams by the Cranberries starts my... That's it. I don't want to... Here we go, look. We scroll down to... Set It Free, it's called. Set It Free by Scarlett Johansson. The best song around at the minute. You will not stop singing it. It is fucking fantastic. Didn't know she could sing. Wow. Get that on your Spotify, in your lug holes. Love it. Love it. I need to get myself in gear with this because I've made a fuck up now, haven't I, by killing that thing. Fuck off. Whoa, you big twat. This has completely gone to shit, this has. You're supposed to do this in stealth. But that big animal finding me fucked me up. And this is the worst bow and arrow to use because it takes a fucking age to reload.
Only one way out of this.
Fuck off. You can die, you fuck. Oh, you shit. Fuck me. That turned into a piss-off. Although we kicked ass, but fuck me was that a ball ache. Right, anyway, let's go and clear up the shit. That was cool, though, that was. What was really cool about that, as I was sat in the grass talking to you guys about fucking singing, yeah, I heard in my right headphone that big fucking corrupted bloke, that monster coming. You guys wouldn't have seen it. You may have heard it. I don't know. I'm guessing you would have. But as soon as you hear that noise, it goes da-da-da-da-da, and you jump and disappear. And that's exactly what I did. Jumped out of the way. Fucking got it, but what fucks it up, it kicked off the shit. You are actually supposed to clear these as stealthily as possible. Doesn't matter, because I did it anyway. But fuck. But that's what I like about its combat. I love bow and arrows. It's my favourite weapon of choice in any game. Always red up with bow and arrows in games. I could hit a fucking gnat's arsehole from 100 yards. Football Manager 2017 is £11. Goodbye life. I could never get into Football Manager again. Did you watch One Love Manchester last night? Liam's been having a go at Noel for not being there. Do you know what? I find that so sad that they're like that. I actually grew up on Oasis when they were first thing. I'm going to tell you a funny story about Oasis, shall I? And I kind of have an affinity to these. I love the original album, first album, and I'll tell you a story. One of my best mates from years back, he once come up to my flat when I lived with my girlfriend, who turned out to be my first wife at the time. So it was going way back. This was many moons ago, and my best mate had not seen him for about a year, and he popped up with his girlfriend, and he popped up, and I'll tell you how fucking long ago it was. He says, I've got an album to play for you. Now, this is when vinyl was still fucking working and in. Okay. So he turned up, he says, play this on your record player, which I'd obviously got. And he got out, and it was a bootleg copy of the first Oasis album. They weren't famous. They'd played in some really shit-end club that he'd been to, because he was all into that kind of music at the time. Oasis weren't signed, not heard of, and he'd got a bootleg copy of the first album, and he played it. And it was fucking brilliant. Obviously turned out to be a classic album of its time. But I remember him bringing that before anybody was even heard of them. They'd not even got a contract or anything. It was shit hot. Now, why is there a flag there? Am I missing some? Oh no, it'll just be my marker. I always used to get mixed up with these markers, look. No, it wasn't a marker. But let me put a marker up there for the second one. But why have we got a flag there, look? No, that's that one. I'm talking to myself, just fucking ignore the lunacy. I always do in games. But yeah, I'd heard about the concert, but it's sad that they can't get on with each other. I know it's just fucking shit. And there's no, I mean, they've had such a good life, a famous life, and really cool, and they make some great music. I mean, I just enjoyed that first album for what it was. I didn't care for much of the other stuff, but the very first album was awesome. I actually nearly bought it on vinyl again the other day, actually. But it is sad that they can't get on with each other. They're famous for what they are. One's a great singer, one's a great songwriter. It just works. One of the famous duos in music, and it's just shit they don't get on. It's fucking crap. He is. Liam's an arsehole, there's no question about it. A complete arsehole, but he's a talented arsehole, isn't he? That's the point. I mean, that first album just will go down as a classic forevermore. Am I right in thinking that I just thought it happened so quick. Am I right in thinking that Ariana Grande What's It concert was last night? You know, when they got all for the Manchester bombing? I thought it was being like arranged for months down the line. Am I right in saying it was yesterday or the day before? You know, with all Miley Cyrus and all the buddies turning up for support and shit. Did it happen that quick? Glastonbury, I've got to say, it's been my fucking world's worst nightmare. My daughter's into all that shit now. She's obviously 19. I think she's going to... she went to one last year, and it was... she's going to the same one again. Oh, I just need to get my fucking act together here, because this gets really fucking hairy down here. I went to see Oasis when Definitely Maybe had not long been out in '94 at Middlesbrough. 152 years later I saw them. It was last night, was it, Jack? Yeah, I thought I'd seen it on the Tinterwebs tonight. Very surprised it was that quick. I thought they were going to make a big, like, fucking, you know, like a Band-Aid kind of thing out of it and make it last for a thing. Yeah, but it's his uniqueness, Carl, that makes him. That's the point. Oasis as a band with that sound would not work with any other singer bar Liam. He just is that kind of thing. It's the Manchester sound as it was back in the day. And he has got the gravelly kind of voice. And as I say, I just don't think it would have worked with anybody else. And it is what it is, I think. Was the Aria Grande thing live on TV then? Was it broadcasting anyway? Shit, why have they got corrupted fucking machines up here? I could never remember them having corrupted machines around all this shit. They're level 15 and all. I'm nowhere near fucking level 15. I may have jumped ahead a little bit here to a place where I should not fucking be. That was the concert he was at. Ah, right. He ended a gig at 5 p.m. in Germany and was playing in Ah, right. So he was like doing a Band-Aid kind of fucking Elton John fly across kind of shit. It is a shame that Noel didn't appear then, especially for given the purpose it was for. And I've got to say, he's not going to have done himself any fucking favours, is he? Because it was... Do you know what I mean? Ah, right, I understand you all now. I was getting my wires crossed. I was thinking the Oasis thing was a separate entity, but it was on in America. Why wasn't it on in this country? Not like us to do things fucking shit. Oh, it was on BBC. Oh, right, there you go then. I'm giving them bad press where it don't need it. How many bands did they get together for it then? Because like I said, I thought they were making a big ass deal of it and like really going to town and chucking it for like you know, chucking for getting a shitload of people and making a really big charity thing of it, which would have been a good thing. Just surprised they did it too quick. They'd have been better like waiting and making a real big gigantic world thing of it. I mean, I think I read on Twitter the other day that Miley Cyrus and Katy Perry... Is Katy Perry still fit? Not seen a picture of her recently. She's cut her hair dead short, hasn't she? I think I saw her on Twitter the other day and thought, Christ, what have you done? She's gone all skinny and cut her hair short. And I thought, my God, what have you done, woman? You can watch the concert on BBC Player. It's definitely worth watching. Is it? I might have that a little look later. So where am I heading? I'm right on the outskirts. Do I fucking go for that? That takes me into the territory. I need to look what fucking level these are. This is saying level. Coldplay, mate. Coldplay could play fucking Humpty Dumpty, couldn't they? And he's the coolest ass fucker on the planet, isn't he? But I've never been a... It's funny, I do like the guy. I think he's awesome. And I think the way he talks, the way he plays music, the way he sounds, as a live band, they're fucking awesome. But, you know, I've never bought or had any of their stuff. Just never appealed to me. But they're really fucking good. I ought to go back to there, you know, and sell some shit. It had quite a few acts. A lot was not my... Yeah, I think the point being in that situation, it was like a kind of Band-Aid scenario that, you know, it was not the point, is it? You know, people might think Aria Grande's not a fucking singer, although I saw her do that thing on YouTube the other month and it blew my mind. And Miley Cyrus is a better singer than you give her credit for, by the way. Because she comes from a country background, but she's turned into a fucking lunatic. Have you seen... Let me just start. I'm probably going to say something really crazy here. Have you seen Miley Cyrus's latest song where she does the video in Maui, is it, on the island and shit? I don't know why, but I think she looks really sexy in it. And she can sing like Wano. And if you've never... I know that people will take the piss. Miley Cyrus, what do you mean? Go and actually find some videos where she's singing live. And I don't mean this, you know, that period when she went mad, cut her hair off, got her tits out and all that shit. I don't mean that. Go and listen to her sing properly. Fuck, can she sing? But she looks really, really nice in her latest video. And I quite like the song actually as well. Sacrilege. I'm hoping she's going back to being a bit normalistic and gone through that fucking mental teenage period. But she looks really beautiful in her latest video. Go and check it out on YouTube. I'm telling you about music. It is, I agree, but Miley Cyrus has way better credit, and that's what was so sad, that she went fucking mad. Like kind of rebelling kind of thing, you know what I mean? But she can sing. Tell you that for free. Actually, I meant to look for her latest song if it was on Spotify or Amazon, but it won't be though, will it? Right, I think I'm going to fast travel back to one of the towns actually, because I need to fucking start selling shit and emptying my bag. And I'm going to go right down to Mother's Crown to see where that other quest is. So we're going to ditch this one a minute, go to the fucking quest there. 2 main quests running, by the way. Very weird. This game is different. I'm going to sneeze, so apologise if you get noise. Got to go to the barbers next week. Interesting story about the barbers. I've mentioned that very locally close by there is a barber's that, obviously growing a beard, my first ever decent shot at a beard, about a year's worth now we're getting, or about 8 months. And my ears are obviously snowy grey colour. I mean, I'm getting fucking old, but it looks a bit distinguished, or so I think. But my hair grows thick and long pretty quick. Now, local barber is literally 30 seconds away. And why I like it is that barber's, his father used to cut my hair when I was 10. And now his son, and his son, he's got the best beard. He's got one of them fucking great massive beards out here. And that's why I went to him originally, because he obviously knows his shit, and he made a really good, nice job of it. But I was talking to the local shop that I go to round the corner, and when I walked in, they says, "God, you look smart." And I said, "I've just been for a haircut." And the woman who owns the shop said, "Have you tried down the road?" And I had noticed it about 3 months ago when I had to go down to the post office, which was further. And walking past one of the shops, it's a real modern, but it's a Turkish guy that owns it. And it always struck me as very smart, very clean, like proper chairs, lovely looking modern hairdresser kind, but it's a Turkish bloke. Well, the woman who's in this shop, they're foreign owners, but they're really nice. I get on with them quite well. She said, "Have you tried this Turkish barbers?" And I went, "No." I said, "I've seen it, but I've never tried it." She says, "Well, my husband goes, and he says he does a fantastic job." He says, "But what he's really good at," and she says, "I think it'd suit you, if you go in and just let him take care of what you know, instead of you going in saying do this, that and the other, you go in and say, this is what I want, make me look good." She says he's absolutely amazing. And I think I'm going to go down there next week and have it done proper. Because I want it to look, it's a bit messy. You don't really get it on here. I have to post a picture on Twitter. It's a bit untidy, but I want that real, like, chiseled kind of look, tidying up. And my hair, similar style but thinning out. But apparently this guy up the road is the dog's bollocks. So I'm going to head there, I think. And I will probably post pictures on Twitter. And you'll probably all say, "My God, look at that handsome bastard." Did you see will.i.am and the Black Eyed Peas? Who's it's left Black Eyed Peas, hasn't she? The fit Fergie. She is gorgeous. I saw an announcement she's no longer with Black Eyed Peas. Did you see their performance on the Champions League when the microphones failed? That was a complete clusterfuck, weren't it? Felt a bit sorry for him, actually. Oh, I've no fast travel. Whoa, for fuck's sake. How do I make my fast travels? Fucking hell, my resource satchel's full. Piss. I need to empty some. Inventory. I have got rid of my... I'm quite liking mine. I mean, they're still trendy, aren't they? I mean, I'm too fucking old to be trendy, but I've always wanted to grow one, and I'll tell you where it stems from. Ex-wife, I always wanted to grow one because they were becoming popular, and they are still popular. And I've got that unique kind of colour and look, and I've always been about being unique. I never do things what every fucker else is doing. I was the first male in our school to have my ear pierced, way back before it was even famous. In fact, it was that long ago, you only ever saw it on Top of the Pops. And all you young whippersnappers, if you want to know what Top of the Pops is, do a Google search. So I saw these bands with an earring in. I mean, it was never heard of, but me, Mr. fucking don't give a shit, straight down to the shop, had it done, which I had to get written permission from my mother, because obviously at the time you weren't allowed to shit. Yeah, I'm going to be packing in a minute, Jack. It's been a good room. It's been a good chat, and I will be back on tomorrow night. So keep an eye out for it. Might be trying Twitch, as I said, so keep an eye on Twitter if you want, or just pop on. So yeah, I had an earring, first male in the school to have it. Tattoos when I was fucking 17 as well, 16, 17. Nobody else had ever heard of them, so I always do mad shit. So I wanted a beard, didn't I, because it was a different colour, but the fucking wife, oh no, don't want any of that, so... As all stupid married men do, pay attention to the wives all the time. Right, what do I drop, guys? Oh, fucking hell. Has that just left me a fucking fast travel pack in there? I need to drop something. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop a trap. I never use traps. Never have done. Never done it. Blast trap, that can go. Can I drop it? Yep, drop that. Should be able to make... Let me get my treasure pack and get that out there. My satchel isn't fucking full. Won't be full in a minute though, boys. I am going to make a travel pack though. I ain't fucking wasting. That'll do. I don't know why I've made that many, but we can now travel to this part. Bang here. Fast travel. Boom. Job done. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 3 p.m.
Christ, is it? Alexa, volume 5. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 11:44 p.m.
Why have you gone louder? Alexa, volume 3. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 11:44 p.m.
Are you supposed to pay attention to her? That's a stretch. Have I missed something? Oh, the wife. Probably fucking... Don't all men do... Mate, all men do for an easy life, if that's what you meant. I know that I fucking did. All men... Most men do for fucking... Just for ease of life. You know the very famous saying? Happy wife equals happy life. It's the fucking truest saying you'll ever know. And I can bet you probably every man in this room does that. Tell you. And I'll openly admit that I did. Too fucking much, probably. And the shit of it all, look where it got me. I need to check I'm doing the right fucking thing here. Why am I going the wrong way, you knob? Turn left. Tell you why, we need to mark that as the flag because it's aiming towards that other fucking flag, innit? Oh, I've got to go through this shit down here as well. Tell you what I could do though. As a bat, can I... Oh no, I haven't made one, have I? Don't get that till later. Thought I could have whistled one of the horsey mechanics, but you don't get that till way later. Shouldn't waste resources like that actually, but by the by. Let me just quickly check the map. Can I cut across there? Probably, maybe. This is probably an error. Oh, actually, there's one there. Wait, got a quicker idea. Bear in mind, give me a minute, boys. Got an idea. Oh, it's whistled the wrong fucking one, hasn't it? That's a ball ache in this game. You have to be careful when you're whistling. Just got back from the live recording of the Guardian Football podcast, which was in front of an audience. Would be amazing if a cranky version. I get asked loads of times, can we do a live show and shit? And I must admit, I've wanted to do and stuff, but it's so hard to pull off. I mean, if we got a place to go, you'd have to, you see, if we booked a place for a sit down and a chat and stuff, which was not, you know. Why is she saying that? How cool is it you can ride these animals? Later on you can just call it at any time. Yeah, I mean, we could like have a room somewhere and have a central point, but you'd obviously end up having to pay for the room, and then you'd definitely, you know, want people to turn up, obviously. But it would be cool. Let me just check. This is a friendly place, isn't it? Yeah. I think it's a friendly place. Yes, it is. But yeah, it'd be a cool thing to do. Yeah, I mean, when I went to Eurogamer, I met up with quite a lot of people. Shall I grab these quests? No, I won't yet. Met up with quite a lot of people. You know, sat down, had a chat with a few. Met Ace Plantman both times. Had a walk around with him all day. It was great fun. I suppose could do, I guess. It wouldn't be too hard to pull off. Christ almighty, guys. Can you believe I've been playing this play 10 hours nearly? So that means now I'm up to 8. I'm going to be 100 hours into this game. Holy shit. Right, I'm going to try one of these things, because I won't be surprised if I can buy the thing from here.
Well, I hope you're looking to buy.
I'm heading for the border.
I've never left our... That's from Meridian.
How did the car
Slave would...
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if we could pull. I mean, obviously you'd have to get the guys together for a start. I mean, that might not be hard. Please tell me I can buy a new bow and shit. This is what I'm after. This is what I'm after. The next stage of the bow. Thing is, I need 210 metal shards. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sell shit. Because I don't need half of this crap. I'll sell all one of them, shall I? Sell that. Sell that. No, you never sell any animal skins, by the way. You can sell all your shit like this because you're bound to get these everywhere. But I'm going to try and buy my bows because that's one of the biggest things you need to do, guys, in this game if you get it. You need... Oh, fucking hell. Sell them all, you dick. Anything like this, your lenses and shit, you can get straight away. Like watches, you get them to the fucking... Get the penny. And when I first time I played it, I never bothered with that. I used to save everything. It used to be fucking... Didn't need it either, because when I finished the game and platinumed it, I'd got a shitload of bag stuff and never used half of it. So... But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be able to buy my bow in a minute. That I can fucking tell you. Because what I will tell any new players of this game, this is what you do. Oh God, I've seen it today as well. I watched that. Can I just say something about Baywatch? I tweeted about it today. I watched a video today on YouTube. She is absolutely gorgeous. Now, we'll let you into a little secret, Matt. If you watch one of the programs that she was on Sky, she gets naked and does a sex scene. A very famous sex scene. So find a name out. The name escapes me. I'm sure the room will remember. I'm telling you now, it's one of the best. I know it's a bit sad and shit, but it is what it is. You think she's fit? Find her in that video that rush you on Sky because she gets naked. And she's got a weird kind of a name as well. I can't remember her name, but she is absolutely gorgeous. She's great in... she's with The Rock in this film as well, in San Andreas. I like that film. Right, let me concentrate because I need to get the right bow. Sharpshooter bow. Which is the sharpshooter bow, guys? Can't remember. Right, let me just go back. I need to concentrate a minute. I know it's a ball ache. Yeah, fuck off. I just need to test something. Right. Precision bow. No, sharpshooter bow does the precision. This is the bow you want to get the new one of. Hunter bow. Or the war bow. I don't want the war bow yet. I need either hunter bow or precision bow. Right, okay, wrong button. Hunter bow. That's it. Alexandra Daddaри. Search for her and be prepared to lose your mind. She is unbelievable in that video where she gets naked with Woody Harrelson in bed, believe it or not. And somebody will tell you the name of the program as well. But if you've not seen San Andreas, by the way, that's a good little leave your mind at the door film, and I thought that was pretty cool. But going back to... Is it the hunter bow that I need, guys? I can't remember. I've lost my fucking train of thought again. Item doesn't fit. My weapon satchel's fucking full. Christ, I need to sell weapons now. Well, we can get rid of this shit because I never use it. True Detective. That's it. Search True Detective, Alexandra. Get ready to sit down and watch that video. And honestly, wow. Sad, but it is what it is. Gorgeous woman. Going back to Baywatch, original chat. I watched a video today, which was, I can't remember what it was titled, something stupid, but it was a montage of all the trailers. So it was about 9 minutes long, and I watched them all. And I'm going to tell you something, guys. If anybody had have said to me 6 months ago, you're going to really want to see Baywatch the movie, because I knew it was coming out. I'd seen The Rock advertised, and I thought, I saw it, and originally back, I thought, what the shit are they doing here? I'm telling you now, I had tears in my eyes this afternoon. It looks one of the funniest films of the year. Why they've made it a comedy, fucking God only knows. But Christ, if you've not watched any trailers for Baywatch, go and watch them on YouTube. And if you don't find that funny, I'll be amazed. And I really want to see that film, I've got to say. I just see it being really good. And it just looks so fucking funny. Thinking about it now, actually. There's one scene when they're in that morgue. Thinking about it makes me cry now. And The Rock's really good in it. I mean, let's be honest, you'd never guess him as an actor, would you? But God, that looks so funny. And obviously, some very beautiful women in it. Right, I need the hunter bow and the sharpshooter bow. Can't you get the shadow hunter yet? I'm just about... No, I've not got any vendors because I've not gone far in the game yet, Stephen. So what I'm doing now, mate, is I'm just getting the next one I can get. The only shadow one I can get is the sling, and I'd never use that anyway. So I'm just going to get the sharpshooter or the thing. It was okay. The middle hour got a little boring. What on? What film are you on about, Matt? What have you seen? Oh, you're talking about San Andreas? Yeah, but I only had to keep looking at her, and that kept me entertained in that movie. Hunter bow or sharpshooter bow? Sharpshooter does the... Anyone seen The Rock when he was 18? He looks old. Yeah, is it the one where he's wearing that necklace and that turtleneck shirt? Can't remember, bought all my stuff from... Yeah, it's the main town. I'm miles off that town, mate. I'm only level 8. Miles off it yet. So obviously I'm ready to upgrade my next 2 bows. So I think I'll buy both of these or one of them. I don't know how much I've got yet. I think I'll have enough for both, I think. So I'm going to go with the hunter bow first. Because I think we need to sell the other one because there's not enough room to pick it up. Oh, no, there is. What's this play movie bollocks? Oh my God, I've never seen that before. Oh God, I need that. I need that. I need that in my life. Fuck, I need that in my life, like now. Do you know what? I think I've just bought a bow that I've already got. I have. I've just wasted fucking money on the same bastard bow that I've already got. What a knob. That's talking. That's fucking talking. It's crazy you play a couple more games and forget it. Might have to go back. FIFA is up for pre-order on Origin for 80. Fucking Jesus Christ. I'd rather put that money towards a fucking season ticket at Derby. My brain's gone dead again. That one I need, don't I? Yes. Sell the other fucking piece of crap. Right. Now we're talking. I can't buy a war bow yet, can I? They didn't have one, did they? Nope. Right, we're rocking. I'm on the second episode of The Keepers on Netflix. Highly recommend. I think I've seen the clip of that. Wasn't bothered. I could put some money towards a console. Mate, I could fucking... That's nearly a quarter of price towards Derby season ticket. And I know what's better fucking value.
Well, I'll be off. I hope business picks up.
Mate, save your money. I say it on the show every week. You don't need a Switch. You seriously don't. What's your local team, Stephen? If you don't mind me asking, where are thou from? You don't have to say if you don't want to. I understand. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look what I can fucking do. This weapon with this fucking arrow is one of the most important things in this entire game for me. Hemel Hempstead. Are they in the same league as Alfred and Tan this year? Guys, I'm going to tell you now, right fucking now, that this part of this bow, I will show you in a second, is the most important fucking thing in the entire game, in my opinion. This, I'm about to show you, is the bollocks look. That, and I'm going to show you why. And this is the reason why. When we go into the menu and you look, when I said on the show, by the way, Yeah, you're in the other one, are you? Right, when we go into the monsters, look, let me show you that when you pick a monster, and when you first do one, you'll do that, look, and you'll scroll down and see what the weak... Right, weakness, tear, very important. So say you was fighting a sawtooth, you would see that tear was a weakness. So this was my battle thing. And when I say that this bow is like one of the most used in the game for me, it is. Because look, you choose that, tear blast arrow. So what you would do, you'd go into your menu and you would go to crafting. And you'd go into this and try and put in some tear blast if you'd got some. And I have. So you bang that in. See if we've got another one. We haven't. We've got none left. So, if you was fighting Sharptooth, you'd know it was dangerous. So this is what you'd do with this. Say you was fighting one, off it'd pop. You'd press your bow and arrow. Say that's the thing there. You'd fire it like that. You'd slow down. You'd fire. Let go. Boom. Now that boom shoots all their armour off. You've seen them all encased in armour. So when you get a big monster, it used to be run round, bang that one into them, couple of them, quickly change to flames, and then boom. And that's what you did. And then also I upgraded how many arrows I can shoot at once, so I could fire 3 at once. I also upgraded the speed I could fire my bow. So at the middle of this game, I was nails. I was literally firing them tear blasts, swapping to flames, and belting them with that, and I was kicking ass. And that is why you look in the menus of how weak and stuff your animals are. So there you go. And I will use that tomorrow now. Remember to select the tutorial quest for these for extra XP. I never bother, mate, to be honest. I didn't do it first time. Do you think Horizon 2 will be E3? No, there'll be the DLC. There'll be no announcement of Secret. It won't even be started yet, I don't think, Matt. But they'll be making the DLC for it. And there's a whole single story player. The only thing I'll say about it, I really hope it's at least 5-6 hours long. Maybe longer, touch wood. And it's a whole new area. And apparently I've heard rumours that it's actually tied to the story. And kind of continues it on, and I won't tell you how the story goes in case you've not done it. Zelda is amazing, though obviously not for everyone, but it's definitely worth buying a Switch for. I don't think it is, Shindo. I'll actually disagree with you slightly, but I agree with your opinion. If it's your game, it is. Have you seen the Rooster Easter egg in this game yet? I don't know, Mr. Freeze. I might have done. There's not a lot I haven't seen in this game, but you're probably going to tell me I haven't. But yeah, the point about the Zelda, Shindo, you've got to remember, if somebody's going to spend 280 quid on an entire console, it's a lot of money just to play one game. Let's just say you hammer 50-60 hours in it. You're done then. And I'll stand by my fact of saying that console should have been released in November. Or even December, ready for Christmas market and ready for Mario as well. I'll tell you something else before down the evening as well. I think Nintendo's got an important E3, and that's why I'm a little disappointed they're not actually pushing for a keynote. I really wish they'd go back to a proper keynote again. I think they ought to deliver it in that way. I just hate the fact they just sat on a fucking stool showing a bit of video. Like last year, they showed a bit of Zelda, or they show that video. It's just bullshit. You're trying to plug one of your biggest hardware sales for this year. Do it properly. It's not hard. You used to do it and do it well. So, but I think it's a very important one, and I just think it kind of gets lost. When you look at the big guys, Xbox and then Sony, they're going to have big keynotes, going to have big floor space. They're going to talk about everything that they've done. Nintendo, they're just going to show a fucking 40-minute video, aren't they? And then talk about it. Like, why? Such as me and you won't go out of his way to try and find that. We'll just pick nit bits out of it. And it's like, why? Why are you doing that? Why not just give us a full keynote kind of thing? It's mad. Especially on the year you've got a console and the other guys are going to do something really fucking big. A game I have been interested in but seem to have been waiting for is... It's been delayed, mate. It's something I should have announced on the show a few weeks ago. I got a PR email a few weeks ago, a really official looking one, because that was due out at the end of this year. It's been delayed till early next year, because obviously it's VR, don't forget. And that's why they're delaying it to make the VR, because it's going to be one of the best VR. I mean, you think about it. Is there anything better than Ace Combat with its graphics in VR, in a cockpit, shooting shit? That's got to be the bollocks, hasn't it? Let's be honest. I've been streaming a lot today, and I'm coming up for 3 hours, and it's nearly midnight. You see the VR clip? Yeah, it looks fantastic. It's high on my radar, I've got to say. Looks amazing. Might make you feel a bit spewy, though. Because you're in a fight. Then again, real pilots have to put up with the fucking thing, don't they? So. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it. I want to catch up a bit of telly. I want a coffee. I've been streaming for about 4 hours today, so. Anybody know what time Morrowind launches? If the release date's tomorrow, it should be midnight tonight. If the official release date is tomorrow, it should be midnight. The game unlocks wherever you've pre-ordered it from. Would you want another conference from Nintendo after the Switch reveal they did? I'd want a proper conference. If there was multiplayer in VR, it would be awesome. There's no reason why there can't be multiplayer in VR, Stephen, if that's what they're pushing for, mate. The actual PR email was official saying they want to make the game the best that it's been. And we all know that they're pushing the VR stuff, so if they want, I think they could be pushing it for, getting it right. But we've seen that Farpoint can be played in co-op. Okay, it's just low, it's 2-player co-op. There's not a lot going on the screen kind of thing, but there's no reason why you can't create multiplayer, I wouldn't think. Because after all, you're only projecting the game in one player's headset. If you go online with it, you'd only have to have a lobby, and then that person's playing on there, and I don't see any reason why not. Be pretty fucking cool, though, wouldn't it? Let's be honest. Like a room full of 16 players all in the sky with fighter jets, and you've got to shoot shit. Holy crap, that would be good. Switch is going to get third card support if it keeps selling. It should. I mean, there's got to be. As I said, Switch has been bought out too early. Way too fucking early. It should have been November, December, with all the shit that comes with it. And they could have had this E3 to explain the day of release, all the games coming out for it. They could have got third-party support. It needs to stop bringing the fucking crap out and turning it into a Neo Geo emulator. That's what it needs to do. And that's why I say I think this E3 is just as important for Nintendo this time than any of the others. I think it's really important. Because we know the Mario's coming out. We know Zelda's been. Mario Kart's been. They need to start announcing some big titles, and quite a lot of them. And by the way, did you see the news on the new online shit that they quoted? It's now been pushed to 2018. It's going to be around 20 quid a year. And they announced that stuff they talked about, the free games with the virtual console. That's still being worked out. But there will be free stuff, like they said there was. Yeah, but it's going to change when I mean, it can't be anything else, mate, to be honest, until they start getting... They're doing brilliant with it. This is what's crazy. I mean, it's the machine's selling, and it's in fact, I nearly got it out this afternoon. I had an hour on Zelda, actually, just handheld and not stream it. It's a great machine. Look, nobody's going to deny Nintendo, they're brilliant at what they do, always have been brilliant at what they do. They just do weird shit around it, but they seem to get away with it. I think for the first time, I think what Nintendo have got to be careful of, they like being a victim of their own success. This has like really gone crazily good, but they like lagging behind because they've got fuck all to play on it, and they need to change that quickly. But Nintendo have got this policy of bringing out games that are never broken, so they've got to be right, they've got to be working perfectly, so they can't rush anything. So we'll have to wait and see. I hope they start bringing shit out, but they need to steer away from this kind of shovelware kind of stuff. I mean, Stardew Valley is due out, I think, next month. Also, the much rumoured finally, I know that the re-releases, but the one that Ricky's been waiting for months, and he will buy it. You know it, and I know it, guys. He will buy it. Isaac. That's out shortly. And why that's not come out in our country yet, God only knows. We say it on the show every week, but it's crazy. I mean, I'd like them to give us a reason, actually. Have they ever been pressed to why Isaac is not out yet in this country? It's been out in America for 2 months. So why haven't we got it here? Don't make sense. It's the same fucking game. It's not broke. Like I heard Wii U can buy Wii and GameCube digital games. Yeah, I think they might be getting... I read a piece yesterday on it that was a rumoured thing. I think it was from back end of GameSpot's website. They'd got early release of the actual details of what they're going to offer. And they basically said 20 quid a month, 20 quid a year, and all that. And I think then they said there's going to be some virtual console. They've not finalised what they're going to give for free. But I'll tell you what, if they want to make a killing, charge 20 quid a year, give everybody a couple of free games a month like the Plus and the Gold does, but then open the store to GameCube emulation, SNES emulation across the board. They will make a fucking killing. Imagine if that Switch was suddenly turned into a store where you could buy every game that was ever out on the SNES, every game that was ever out on the GameCube. I would play that every day, I think. So yeah. And yeah, Vita 2.0, if it's going to be announced, which I've been saying for a long time. You're on it, Parrot. I'm telling you. We'll be sat there with his Vitas, streaming his PlayStation 4 to it and doing all this shit with snazzy OLED screens and the bollocks. You mark my words. I'll be on the show next Wednesday saying I told you so. Anyway, guys, I'm going to call it a night. It's been a great room. It's been a full room all night and most of this afternoon, so I've enjoyed it tonight. We've even had donations coming in as well. So yeah, which is cool all round. So thank you for everybody. I'm going to look at that thing across the bottom now. I'll see if I can change it. And I will change wording tomorrow. But don't forget tomorrow night, guys. I will be streaming about the same time, 7:30, 8 o'clock onwards. And I probably will test Twitch. If nobody's getting I'll just jump back onto here because this is the best format and it's just easy for everybody to chat and shit. So I'll say good night from me, and I will be back tomorrow. And I've enjoyed it, guys. It's been a great night tonight. A good chat as always. Thanks for the comments. Well, we are leaving for the evening, but you're quite welcome to join us tomorrow as well, mate. Thank you for the comments, and I will say good night to you all until tomorrow night. On the morrow. Good night, room. Appreciate it as always.